Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody around the world right now here on Twitch chat. Welcome to the CCL Season 1, the debut season for Valorant supporting the CCL. My name is Multitudes and joined with me on my right, depending on where you're looking at, is Cherry J. Welcome, welcome. How are you feeling today, my buddy?
I'm feeling fantastic. We're coming in to the season starting off with two powerhouse schools. Dalhousie coming up against St. Clair. St. Clair having a lot of roster changes recently. Coming into this, we'll see whether or not, despite having a pretty new team, they're going to be able to take down the Giants of Dalhousie. I want your prediction here, Multitudes. What do you think is going to happen in game number one? You think we're going to see them come out of the gate swinging?
Oh, it is a best of three, so it is a bit of a marathon. It's hard to say. I'm going to put a little small bet. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd put my money on St. Clair Academy. These folks, yes, we're new to the scene for Valorant, not a lot of experience just yet, but St. Clair Academy has had a very strong esports scene within the CCL, and I believe also won last year's R6, right? So that's them showing a lot of strong capability from just team FPS in general, and I'm really sure that a lot of the fundamentals are going to transfer over to this Valorant scene, and so I'm gonna be expecting them to, like you call it, come out from the gate absolutely throwing hands.
I mean, I agree there. Both these teams, they're ready. They're looking to start the season off strong. We'll see whether or not they can do it. Now, talk about some of these teams here. We got the IGL slash captain of St. Clair's, the person making the plays, making the strats here, Benson. We're going to need to watch out for them on the battlefield. And, they got some more little vibes players in the lobby as well with Jello and Sushi, both being extremely active, extremely energetic. We'll see whether or not they can keep the mentality up, even if St. Clair does go down a map. We'll see what the map veto is going to look like in just a little bit, though.
Yeah, and but right before that, I do want to just correct exactly show you the map bans here. It is a best of three, and we're using the current competitive map pool. So like the signature ascent is not here. We've got the bans coming out. Haven will be first picked here by Dalhousie Tigers. They're going to be on the defense, followed by Split. And if need be, if both teams prove their worth, we're going straight here into Lotus as a decider in this best of three as well. So it will be very, very interesting. Haven, a bit of a standard pick as well, from a competitive scene. A lot of people do like that, and you see the others like Fracture, Pearl. A lot of those are typically banned as well because teams don't quite like to play some of those less, I want to say, normal maps, Cherry. But Haven, Split, Lotus. Okay, we can get our head around those, and we'll love to see what these players have cooked ahead of us.
And Dalhousie Tigers going to be picking up the map number one here. We'll see what the strats are going to look like on Haven. Obviously, Haven, one of the bigger maps, got a lot of sites, a lot of ideas behind how you're going to try and pilot the map. We'll see whether or not they can pull through, or will St. Clair take an upper uh seat here, because honestly, I think that with how the Saints have been looking in previous tournaments, winning out in the NECC, doing really well in the collegiate scene, I think that they are definitely going to be the favorites,
Mm-hmm.
despite this being not their varsity roster. Going to go to split for map number two here. I think that that's definitely going to be a little bit of a polar opposite to the Haven. Haven being a map that really kind of relies on those kind of like micro plays, switching it up, looking to change up the direction of the map, while Split is a little bit more of a forward pace, needing to break open the site, explode right on out. And Lotus, it's kind of like a mix of both, since you do need to play really aggressive on the defensive side, especially on the A site. However, the rest of the map can kind of just being played however you want to try and execute onto it. I think that on a Haven to start us off, I don't know, Dalhousie, they really do have to come out of the gate swinging if they want to be able to destroy the mentality of the Saints and kind of like ruin their aggressive behavior on the attacking side of Split since they will be starting on it. Now, with Dalhousie starting on defense on Haven, they're definitely going to be a little bit weaker to control the tempo here.
Yeah, it's very true. And so as the teams right now in the lobby get their way and sort themselves out here in the service, we're just gonna take a bit of a helicopter view as well for the Canadian Collegiate League, looking at some of the schedules and the groups as well, while the scene pulls up into the foreground. Just to give some background on CCL, it is a student-run, student-led organization here, trying to bring competitive Valorant and R6, first person shooters here to the masses, pulling in a bunch of teams here. And here we have the Winter Series calendar on your screens right now. We have a total of 18 teams going to be battling out for about 4 weeks in group stages. That's going to be six teams in 3 groups here. And we're gonna be able to have them seed themselves out, and by end of February, the top 3 teams of each group, so that's a total of 9 teams, will automatically qualify into the playoffs. Now, there is going to be a wild card factor here at the start of March, where we will have seeds 4 and 5 from each group battle it off in a last chance qualifier, and the winner of that will be able to have their final chance to play and progress into the playoffs. So we'll have 10 players in the playoffs here starting March 9th. And so that will be a Winter Series calendar. Be sure to, join the Discord and follow the socials of CCL if you want to keep in touch with their schedules as well. They have a beautifully planned website, can I just add? So do check that out as well. Moving into the group standings, just to have a quick look as to who here is going to be battling up. This is once again the debut, the very first game for CCL Valve here in this winter series. None of the scores are up right now, but you have Dalhousie Tigers and St. Clair's Academy going to be battling out on top of the other 4 here. Durham Lords, University of, I'm going to mess this up a little bit, Gulf Team Red. Yeah, I'm going to skip past that real quick. Collegiate Ravens, as well as the Brook Badgers. All these are part of the group Group B. Group B, yes, Group B. And once again, for more information, you can definitely check out all the group standings here on the website itself. But it sounds like we are just about ready, and we're just about gonna push these 10 players into the game server. Cherry, I am excited to see what kind of comp these teams have cooking for us.
Yeah, I am so excited. We'll see what these teams got up their sleeves. Immediately locking the Sova and Breach here. A little bit of a interesting pick, looking to potentially lock in a Clove, one of the more aggressive controllers in the lobby. Obviously, that is due to the fact that once you die, you still get to create value for your team. However, we look over to the attacking side, a little bit more of an unorthodox composition for the meta. You go back 3-4 months ago, you'd expect this to be the norm. But right now, with the nerfs to the Neon, it's a little bit interesting seeing Sushi running it down on the Neon. Jello is going to be on the Omen. Marcial going to be locking in the Sova. Breach getting picked up for Brownie. And Benson, the captain of the team, going to be looking to lock in a Cypher. Something that you do kind of commonly see captains like to run. Not sure if that's has anything to do with it, but that's definitely interesting.
That is interesting. It's either, the Cypher or the Smokes that, Boaster loves running that Astra in the heyday back on Ascent as well. And so it will be quite a match indeed. All eyes definitely on that Neon Sushi. You're right to say that it is a bit unorthodox, but, paired with the standard Breach Sova, it is the must-go-to kind of bromance initiator that we have here. Well, I like to coin a little brova, basically. You should be able to get a lot more pacing and a lot more, utility trade-offs. The only issue is that, okay, you really have to make sure people follow up with Sushi so that at the very least you get some trades, the space is contained and held, and not, traded off immediately and you lose that fast and furious. But just, the yapping aside, we're off to a great start here. Dalhousie Tigers taking a very aggressive stance. fully holding in control of that mid. You see Mika actually taking a very, very aggressive move into window, whereas the aggression has already come out on that A site.
Immediately, the Cypher is going to be the last one on the site at such a critical HP. It's going to be instantly shut down. Mika as well getting completely called out by the Cypher sitting in spawn. It's going to be Ben looking to go into heaven here. We'll see if they can find anyone on this site. However, instantly called out by Brownie and getting taken offline. Still has that smokes in play, but see Goatsy needing to go big here with the Sheriff in hand. Paranoia is going to stop them in their tracks. Now with these last two players, they need to worry about the time. Jello is going to be able to get the first, and with the hands of the Flash, Sushi running it down, and a team ace to start the series off.
I've been
Huge plays, and honestly, this is exactly what I kind of talked about and alluded to. Sushi just following up with those flashes, the paranoias, the darts, the drones coming out. This is good team play so far. The coordination is tight, the body positioning is tight. St. Clair's putting first on the board, very well deserving. So Fragso now putting themselves on the opposite side. Dallas Tigers not going to be able to buy much, opting for a full save, classics in hand. And I think, Varsal sending out that shock dart to basically get one trip destroyed, forcing Fragso to have to reconvene and remove some of the utility to the back of that site. With so much attention and pressure being put on the A, that's not necessarily where the spike is going. Dallas Tigers doesn't have a lot of information here. Not a lot of ways to seek out where the offensive is moving towards.
Immediately, smokes are going to start putting down. Looks like the site is about to start being exploded upon, but with Mika sitting in the smoke here, it's going to cause pressure, make these attackers want to back out. St. Clair's Academy, they're looking for their way into the site. However, with the Cypher over towards the C site, it definitely could cause a rotation here, but I mean, the camera's no longer going to be available on the C site, so realistically speaking, there's not going to be a lot of information. I believe the Clove may have heard that.
30 seconds left.
Does seem like some extremities are starting to be taken here. The Jets watching towards CT along with the Clove, and there's nobody knowing that the attackers understand this. So realistically speaking, I think that this retake could instantly just come out right now, cancel the plant. There could be trouble, but no, they're going to respect the damage that's being put onto them.
Spike planted.
Oh, Ben, playing with danger here, playing aggressive, going to be forced to back up. Hit by the tripwire, though. Instantly down to the ground. Brownie finding the opening pick onto Ben here. Looks like the after shot gonna cancel some aggression, keep them in place, and Benson finds the next, finding a second. Benson's taking down the lobby, and Sushi closes it out.
It was great shot calling by the in-house IGL Benson, knowing that Silong has probably been rechecked at some point in time, puts the cam out very, very brazenly, to be honest, to just clear some of the corners around C, calling the rest of the team over, who runs in pursuit. So that that's good shot calling, good understanding and timing of how the rotations might be played out. This is Dalhousie's Tigers kind of response now. They need to put one in the bank to be able to make it a bit more competitive. One Phantom, 4 Vandals on hand, regens, half shields and full shields across the board, as they are going to be stacking heavy around the mid presence where a lot of pressure is being made. You see the Neon eyeing that. Start has approached here. Banson getting a great one onto Ben, but after death, smokes are still available as they move on to that C site.
SC completely empty, letting SCC, the St. Clair's, completely take it over. And with Varsiel taking down another, giving this advantage even more to play with here. Will Sushi be called out? There's no information on their position here. Gallon going to be the next to fall to the ground, taking the bonus. St. Clair's come out of the gate swinging.
Come out of the gate swinging indeed. I'm gonna call it as is, Cherry. Dalhousie Tigers looked a little lost there. They had some good intuition that it was, they needed to stack B, especially with that trip being broken so early. But towards the end, the lurks, the lurk kills coming out from Varsal, and the movements around Garage and Window. It felt like they didn't quite understand where some of these players could have been, and were just caught off guard time and time again. So falling back onto a severe save round, Sheriffs across the board, they're not trying any sort of trap play or group up, positioning themselves, you know, fairly evenly across, although Mika here with a very gangster move, abusing that smoke.
Wow. I was not expecting them to win the 1v1, but Mika on a very precise shot with the Sheriff. Gonna back off, respect the saves. Banson's gonna be tagged out by the recon bolt, forced to back up a little bit here. But with this information giving over to the defensive side, they're going to have a little bit of a miscommunication, assuming that B site is going to be the hit of their opponents. However, it does seem like St. Clair's, they want to play a little bit more kind of passive. They're not going to be hitting the C site despite it being almost empty because they didn't really have the knowledge on it. I think that maybe they would have been a little bit of a preferred idea since you already had some information on one of the players over towards A. Probably could have given you a little bit more. Mika's going to be able to dodge out on the flash, but at 58 HP, they're definitely going to be in a crucial spot, needing to be able to increase their value through the round. Sushi's going to fake out A, and immediately diverging to the C site by the looks of it. But the fake is amazing. Sushi's going to go in so aggressive, stunning themselves, backing out immediately. And after that, there's going to be a massive rotation away, but nobody's here to catch it in time. We see the entire team on this defensive side running to try and stop the plant. Fragoso, first one to fall in with 8 seconds remaining. The plant's going to go down. Oh, Brownie finds one. Brownie finds a second, but finally gets taken offline. Banson's finding an X, and on the flank, Mika gets completely called out. A 4-0 victory.
Charge and shoot. Easy enough.
I'm not gonna lie, I like what Dalhousie Tigers was doing. You know, the initial very aggressive peek from Mika, the drone now just to clear some of the corners, and then falling back into safety. You know, like they could have done one of two things. Maybe try to fight for that Vandal on the floor, but they decided to group up a little bit. Once again, it is 3 sites to this map. It is a little wide, Haven. So St. Clair Academy really using that to their advantage, pulling around, adjusting time plans time and time again to be able to just play with the hearts and minds of Dalhousie Tigers. That is a bit more aggressive approach right now as Sushi just leads the charge alongside an ultimate.
Oh, that's not the worst play in the world though. Being able to shut down Sushi so fast. Somebody who's being such a good playmaker. Ben's going to be the next to Valdo. In a little bit of a wasted ult per chance. A 2v4 situation is going to be played though. Owl drones coming out. Despite the neural theft, they're still going to play aggressive. You're wanting to try and contest for it. Rock's going to come through. Keep CS Cody in the same location. Getting hit out by these shock darts. Jello through the smoke finds 2. And it's just an absolute slaughterhouse coming in from St. Clair.
Jello! 2 shots. 2 kills through the smoke. VAC check. Holy. Coming up from the bottom of the leaderboard is not something you expect, but time and time, I think what St. Clair Academy is showing is that each and every player are worth their buck and their kill right now. 8 to 3 kills across the board. Unfortunately, Dalhousie Tigers still sitting on a majority of 1, not a lot of firepower to their name moving into this. Mika with the Hunter's Fury online. Once again, looking for a very aggressive stance. This has to play out well. They have to take the fight over.
Oh, Sushi, a little bit of some whiffs here, but the stun's gonna come through instantly. Ben trapped between a rock and a hard place and instantly shut down. 2v4 once more with 2 players on the C/garage area. They could potentially be able to call out one, but no, instantly flooding the B site. Wanting to take it down early. Gallon, not Shea, wanting to go in aggressive here, but will they be able to find anything? The answer is going to be no. Jello from 3K, doubling their kills for this round. Fragoso, will they be able to find anything here? Sushi gets called out, played with fire a little bit too hard and instantly regretted it. Stun's going to come out, but the smoke doesn't matter. Benson finds the kill, taking this half with 6 rounds already.
IGL absolutely leading the board. Can I also say that on the St. Clair Academy side, it's come to my knowledge that both Jello and Sushi as far as I'm aware, are twins. They actually have 6-2 on the KD, which is actually absolutely hilarious. Uh, so that's a fun fact for everyone here. Fragso and Mika still holding on to their ultimates. Dalhousie in the back foot. Still a big goose egg on their side. Needs to come up clutch at some point in time. The dynamic duo here, Jet and Sova, holding the A-long. Nothing to be spotted. I think St. Clair may be opting for a bit of a slower pace, waiting for some aggression that they saw from the previous round. Okay, a little start there, a little conditioning happening. Not too shabby. The dual drones come out. One trying to clear cellar, the other one now opting to clear C A-long. Spike still in spawn, so all this aggression that we're seeing is just to pull attention away. And here you see the greens are being pulled indeed. Now it's a matter of whether St. Clair itself, they have the intuition to move around or not, or if Dalhousie are ahead of the game.
Yeah, Dalhousie, they're playing way too like rotation based. They're always rotating to sites, and that kind of is just leading them to these really bad plays here. And I think, especially now, we see the breach on an extremity in C, playing in CT. Jet's doing a very similar thing. We do see the Cypher taking a little bit of space, but I think that that's kind of just the real problem that is happening with this Dalhousie squad, is they're
30
not
seconds
really
left.
like playing aggressive at all, and instead they're kind of just falling to the floor each and every round because they cannot take rounds. They cannot win the fights on the site. They're playing a retake position every single time, and we see it here especially with nobody even attempting to contest for the spike.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, and you know, the entire Dalhousie Tigers were thrown off by a singular smoke from B. You see them really trying to take this space, but St. Clair Academy just quicker with these headshots. It's all Ben, and now Galen. Maybe the call has been made to save as well. They don't know where Banson is, last seen on C, but has now re-rotated with the rest of their 5 stack onto the A site. The Rolling Thunder was also consumed just to be able to secure the rounds here, but they're on the hunt. They don't want any space for the Tigers to be able to make any sort of comeback.
Sushi getting hit by the stun, wanting to keep their lives intact. Galen not going to be found out. Sushi taking a precise shot to the head. 7 rounds have been obtained. Ben going to finally survive for a round and taking a kill with them. However, the economy for every one of these players on the stacking side looks absolutely phenomenal. Jello taking offline is not going to mean a lot in any kind of capacity. We do see Ben keeping up with their previous economy. We'll see whether or not 3 ults is going to be enough to take some rounds, especially when it's 3 relatively impactful ults. We get a revive from Ben. We get a Sova ult with a Hunter's Fury, could potentially be big. And along with that, there's the neural theft.
Okay. Defaults coming out from the side of St. Clair. You see the cage smoke moving across. Now, the rotates have to come in. They have to pull at least one or be worried about that cellar. But never mind. CS Goaty with the operator Nan drops that first player. Sushi out of the way. The rotates have started coming in. St. Clair now worried about that post. Banson in a very lurky position once again. The garage play is going to be next though.
Oh,
What?
that is not okay. Fregoso gonna find a first, instantly shut
One
down
enemy
though.
remaining.
Brownie's gonna get a kill, but
Spike
instantly
down,
Galen's
C.
gonna be the one to strike back. It seems like a round finally is gonna go in their favor, especially when the flank is being completely neutralized. It's gonna finally be a round going to the Tigers here. 1-7, not having to extend a single ult, and an absolute masterclass to try and bring the game back.
Okay, so St. Clair may be just a little, you know, resting on their laurels just a little bit. Sushi did that dry peek to be punished by the operator. Fraxo just got the shot of an absolute sentry, flashed out, waited like half a second, and got that headshot onto Brownie. So that was 2 down immediately. Let's hope that luck is continued on your side. They have a lot of ultimates they can expend. The default comes out from St. Clair once again. Drilling down C, putting a lot of pressure, but Benson doing their annoying thing once again on the A side to be able to hold the rotations around. That tag comes out great. CS Goaty doesn't spot anybody from this side, so opting to maybe fall back. Now it's a matter of whether Banson hears enough rotations to call people over.
Oh, Sushi's gonna be the first one to fall. Fault line's gonna come up to try and keep the pressure. But at this point, the defenders are staying strong here. They're figuring out their mistakes. They're going to correct them, not rotating off of anything. Instead, just sticking to their guns. 2 players on A, 3 towards the C site. The B is a little bit empty. However, there's going to be a tripwire there to try and be able to get that information when there is going to be a lurk in progress. Still with a 4v5 situation, no longer having that neon to break open the site. It's going to be difficult. Benson going to place the camera here, not going to be able to collect onto anything. However, Lowe going to still be on site, probably hurt by the jump, finds the first onto Ben. Goatsy making a little bit too much of a whip here, but they still take the advantage until Marcio comes back in play. But no. It's a 1v3, an absolute domination. TPing back onto the site, wasn't hurt, finds a first, looks to connect onto a second, going to be able to connect. 30 HP remaining, 2 seconds on the smoke, but instantly shut down. A second round converts for the Tigers.
Okay, honestly, Tigers almost threw the entire round. They have adapted to the ways that St. Clair Academy, they're playing so, okay, they like to plant within the last 10 seconds. You called it completely, they're not rotating. But letting Jello get away with all these 1v1s, that was a little dicey. Mika was there to clean up, but wasn't even looking in the same direction as Guylan. So, okay, a lot to digest there. Tigers looking a little more heated, 2 in a row. Can they continue the streak? They need 1 more to pull St. Clair into, a bit of a save round, breaking their economy. So we'll see if they can persuade that to their advantage. Sushi, quick on that trade. Sorry, that trip, that trip, and now trying to get the camera out as well, but was stunned. They're holed up in garage, but they're coming with the C fast.
Oh, we're seeing the overdrive come online, but Fregoso finds it out. Marcio is going to be the one to trade it out, but Brownie still connects. It's going to be Ben still on the site, trying to anchor it down, able to get the extra HP, but Coatsy coming in. It's a little bit too late. Benson on the flank finds one. Benson needs to go large here. 17 HP on the Clove, looking to make a wall bang happen. Can they do it? The answer is going to be no. Unable to connect. And Ben with a 4K to close out the round, bringing this comeback into fruition.
Ben having a 4K on that board. One of the main fraggers for the side of Dalhousie Tigers, putting 7 to their name up to date right now. Dalhousie Tigers looking, much more comfortable. Maybe it just took them 7 rounds to warm up. 7, a bit on the higher side. But if they can clock 5-7 on the defense, it will be way more comfortable to be able to move into the second half right now. It's posted in a very similar fashion as they had before. This time CS Goaty making their way down into the depths of the cellar, catching the IGL of St. Clair off the back foot. And that's not a great start that St. Clair wants to see as they approach this B site.
Oh, Ben making this comeback happen. Not able to connect a third. It's going to be Marcio to shut them down, but in a 1v3, there's not much you can ask for. Marcio gets shut down by CS Goaty and making a 4-8, even a 5-7 possible after being down 0-7. An absolute comeback for the ages. 4 ultimates on the board for St. Clair. We'll see whether or not they can find anything. And Artemis going to be calling a timeout here. Very much needed. You may have wanted to do this a little bit earlier, but it's fine. You're going to be doing it in the end. We'll see what the final round of the half is going to look like.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of the cohesion and a lot of the utility trade-offs from St. Clair not coming through in the last few rounds. You see Banson, yes, putting up the camera. CS Goaty actually decided to hold off on breaking it, just dry peeking it, and actually catching Banson off guard because they thought, okay, if anyone was there, they'd break the trip as well. This is classic diversion tactics, and it was played ultimately by CS Goaty to the perfection. And so this is the sort of things that, okay, CS St. Clair was taking kind of a bit of a, they had a lot of leeway to play around in the first 7 rounds, and they're sort of becoming a little lax on that front. I think that's hopefully what Coach Artemis is drilling into them. Meanwhile, on the Dalhousie Tiger side, a lot of momentum. They do want to keep that time to themselves and regroup and hold their nerves, their steel nerves down. Opting for a double op. Yo, Cherry, am I tripping? Yo, that's wild.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Obviously, there's a lot of long sight lines that this can be played down on a map like Haven. Immediately going to be able to dodge out the Sova dart. Without that going to be in play, they're not going to have a lot more pressure to add to it. Camera's going to be here to potentially find out this Sova. However, it does seem like a C push is in the works. With only that Jet and Cypher here, it's going to be difficult to contain this, and they're not going to attempt to contain it at all, instead allowing this Rolling Thunder to just kind of go in and not be able to punish anyone. CS Cody taking the first, looking to get a stun off, trying to get something. Banson's going to find the first, instantly traded out. Jello's going to be able to get the next, connecting the final piece of the puzzle. Ben's going to be able to get the spike in hand. At this point,
Last player standing.
without much left, Mika's finding the next player on the work. It's a 1v4 situation, and despite being down 0-7, they're going to come back 5-7.
That was insane, an insane read from the side of Dalhousie Tigers as well. Just basically playing offside as much as possible because they spotted the Rolling Thunder. They know coming out from the timeout, they're going to do something intense,
30
something
seconds
dramatic.
left.
And they just answer back with a shot call of their own. Choosing to flood into garage instead and catching everyone off guard. This is just the counter plays, the strats, the anti-strats coming out. I don't know how much Sushi can do here. We'll see if they can isolate these fights.
Not even able to connect a first. Mika shutting down the
Switching
final
sides.
piece of the puzzle. 5-7. I mean, this is your map pick, so at least you're going to be able to potentially have something to show us on the attacking side, but you do need to start with a pistol. If you can't connect the pistol, it's going to be extremely detrimental to the rest of the game. 9-5, a horrible scoreline to have to come back from. And, if you lose early on, you have to stop the bleeding. You have to take a couple rounds in the game. I mean, I don't know. I'm currently just leaning towards the St. Clair Saints to just kind of take this next half and win the game.
We'll see if Dalhousie Tigers has the roar in them to be able to take the fight. You see an explosion from St. Clair. They like the aggression that they can bring to the table. So mid space will be compromised by them. The stun comes out. So we'll see if we get some trades here. The body block.
I'm out of here.
They're looking good. Galen gonna be able to find the first onto Jello, shutting down one of the main components of this team. Benson not able to connect a first, trying to be disciplined, but instead found out completely. Sushi's gonna be able to find one instantly, not connecting a second, and Galen, not Shay, finding the comeback. 2-4 on the player deficit, and at this point, with Spike already going to be going down. A lot of peaks, a lot of deaths, and it's going to be Varsil, the last one alive, and to be found out by this Tiger squad. 6 rounds, and the pistol's going their way.
Dalhousie Tigers looking a lot more fierce now. Much needed pistol, like you called it. They're hopefully going to be able to win the anti-equal as well. Then they'll put us into a tight position, right? Coming back up against such a strong deficit in that first half. The interesting thing about Dalhousie Tigers from an attack point of view is going to be Ben, right? They have to basically stay alive. Despite being able to put smokes down, it kind of locks them into a particular map as well. And here's Dalhousie Tigers going to be moving into an extremely stacked side. So let's see how they fare as they explode onto the site.
Oh, Jello being called out by a single shot dart,
down,
not
C.
confirming the kills, and at 25 HP, they're going to be the one to start confirming round. A thrifty round based on the back of Jello, sitting in the corner, making the plays. And, I mean, you gotta say that might have just turned the whole tide of this match.
Yeah.
Keeping the lead in Saints' hands.
Cherry, that was painful to watch. Not gonna lie. And a huge shout out to our observers as well. Jello, you see, just crouched in the corner, having just enough, trigger discipline to catch what I believe is 2 right through the smokes there. Oh, Dallas Tigers now gonna be forced back on that save, while St. Clair rifles plus an outlaw to catch everyone but then off guard. That's a couple coming off from Sushi, and they want to press the matter right here. That
think in this game, you can really tell the difference between the philosophies of these two teams, especially on the defensive side. Fergoso's going to be able to find one, but with a rotate seeming to be in hands, this is exactly what I was just talking about. Varsiel is on the flank here, collecting space, finds the first, collects the
Spike
bomb,
down,
but
attacker
CSGOD, with their insane mechanical prowess, they're going to be able to connect onto the final piece of the puzzle, shutting down the flank, making the space back in their hands here. Varsiel offline, going to cause a 3v4 situation with the Dallas on such a high advantage. Can they connect this thrifty of their own? Sushi's playing aggressive here, looking to connect into a 1v1 position, trying to isolate a fight with Fregoso. Could potentially be really good, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do anything just yet. Both players on this A and C site here, not going to be able to really get that understanding that it is going to be a B hit in the end. We'll
30
see if
seconds
Sushi's
left.
going to be able to find out anything here, but
Spike
right now
planted.
the connection between those players in C is going to be insane. But
Last
Fregoso
player
finds
standing.
one, CSGOD gets the next. It's an absolute domination, and we're seeing two thrifties in a row.
Oh, this is a back and forth. I love the like I called it strats on anti-strats on anti-counters. St. Clair had a little mistake there. You know, the three last remaining players, they split up despite having the superior firepower. They could have grouped up and tried to get as many trades as possible, but Dalhousie Tigers, you know, eventually won all those because they played together. It is a team sport after all. They're gonna be able to walk into this with what looks like at least four rifles, 3 vandals, and an outlaw. So that's a huge thrifty from that side. What? Okay, CS Cody. Yo, get your head in the game, yo. Get your head in the game. Never mind. 2 vandals and an outlaw.
CSGOD gonna be the last one to die for that team, but it does seem like they're gonna have the economy to try and take another round here. We do see an outlaw being taken online for Gallon, not Shay. Not gonna be as crazy as Jello buying an operator after losing the round, especially putting that operator in the hands of your Omen. Definitely going to be an interesting play. We'll see how they're gonna be able to pilot it in a short. One of the like least expected angles to be going for an operator on defense. Maybe Garage would be a bit crazier. However, it's not going to be for nothing. CSGOD instantly shut down. That's your entry player. That's the player that had been making so many plays during some of these rounds. We'll see whether or not they're going to be able to find anything despite being down their jet. But Banson taking a little bit of an angle here, understanding their opponent's location. Do they peek? They find some damage.
Ooh,
Not able to connect the kill, though. They still do have a good representation of where their opponent is, though. So I think there is a good chance that Fregoso will be called out here in the end.
Yeah, they're trying to opt for a new space. They've lost A completely based on the op shot. They're trying to make some distractions around. Shock Dart to be able to get rid of that trip in Garage, but it's still being held by Sushi in a very close quarter. They're trying to poke and prod, really figure out where these players are, but St. Clair is not giving a single hint, to be honest. They're playing it very smart. They know the Cyphers on C, and the operators on A, maybe even has rotated. So
30 seconds
they
left.
need to do a little bit more. They're choosing to re-explode onto the A site. So we'll see how this content comes out with Jello.
Jello unable to connect the shot. Ben's going to be the next one to fall. Varsiel going to be able to shut them down. That's 2 players on A without much time remaining. Wait, why are we rotating off the site? What on earth? Okay, well, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Mika's finding the first. They have time to get the plant down, but not anymore. Canceling the plant. Going to fall, and 9 rounds have been connected. It's a ping pong table going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Cold War era right there. You know, Dalhousie waiting for some initiation, some initiative from the side of St. Clair, who was just not giving it to them. They know they had the numbers advantage. They already showed us a strong presence onto that A seller. So they just held back. And when the recontest, the utility pressure came out once again, Jello reared its head once more with that op shot and just got another. So it was just great, you know, classic fallow play coming from the side of St. Clair. Now a singular Sova holding the fort here on A. CSGOD just dry peeking their way around. The reinforcements from the defenders are starting to come out. And actually, you know, the flank has been dealt with too. That's not a great start for the side of the Tigers. They're opting to maybe fall back a little bit, noting that a lot of rotates have probably come onto this A site.
Thunder's Fury going to be the hands of this attacking side. We'll see if Mika's going to be using that. I mean, realistically, that could be really good for some post-plant situation, but to start off, you need to be able to get into a post-plant situation. And with the way that this defense has been playing, they're a brick wall that has not been able to be defeated. Mika's going to be able to play with danger in that close combat situation. They're going to be the ones to secure the kill. Sushi pinged out by the dart, not going to be faltering because of it. Instead, just rotating to the hell of the site here. Oh, that is a very bad idea, but CS Cody taking the kill. Seems like a C push
30
is
seconds
going to be
left.
in play here. Jello with an operator going to be hit by the stun, giving their weaponry away here. Jello no longer going to be able to take them by surprise. It doesn't matter. Jello finds one. Spike's going to be going down
Spike
here,
planted.
but it's not going to matter. Brownie falls. Jelly finds a neck.
remaining.
Jelly with the shotgun in hand. Jelly, one remaining shot. Needing to do it all, needing to collect the kill. They get the shots off and they connect it. Jello to absolutely dominate the round with an operator and a shorty. Doing it all, connecting it all, and St. Clair keeps the lead.
You cannot let Jello get away with this! And I called them out as well. In the first half, they had only 3 kills to their name. Now looking top of the leaderboard, 18 to 11, 5 assists as well. Operator in hand, just absolutely cooking. The flash did come out, but wasn't even deterred. Paranoia to counter for their own. It was just shot after shot after shotty to be able to secure that round. Dalhousie Tigers looking into a bit of a mixed buy right now. Varsil gonna be the one to maybe hold them back. Old school smoke to basically not allow sightlines as to how many people are moving up. But Sushi's there to relay the information. They're hearing no one. They're seeing nobody. Dalhousie Tigers are looking for a quick entry onto C, which will be denied by the operator. Drone finally comes out to make space, as well as that shock dart, but I don't know, is it a little too late right now? They've lost a lot of map control, and that Sushi
Spike
starting things
down
off
A.
as well.
Go, go.
Oh, Sushi gonna be able to connect one, dashing through the main here, looking to connect another spike in their hands. 5 bullets, going to need to waste some, pulling out the classic here, looking the wrong way. Mika finds the kill, shutting down the aggression, but not shutting it down for long. With the flank is here. Benson taking the team to an even greater deficit.
Whoa, okay. Dallas Tigers losing some steam right now. They won the pistol, they got the anti-bonus, you know, Drifty, which is very, very impressive, but haven't managed to make any headway in the last 3 rounds. They seem to be trying to do the same strat that St. Clair has doing in the sense that exploding onto the site, but not enough utility is being connecting on the defending players, and so they can't make the space that they want. They can't get the entries that they want, and they just don't have enough information. Bit of a fudge there, but Overdrive is online to be supported with that Hunter's
Almost down.
Fury. I know exactly.
Not entirely sure what that play was, but a little bit of a misstep. 7 to 11, still gonna be the score line. A lot of ultimates on the stacking side. If you're gonna win a round, you're gonna do it here. Dropping in the neural theft, gonna give them a little bit of information here, and it's going to allow them to just kind of flood onto the A site without any real worries. It seems like retake is going to be really needed here with 2 players on the flank. It is going to be seen to be a Cypher who's going to try and stop them in their tracks. We'll see how much they're going to be able to get there. I'm just looking down and I'm seeing Fregoso find one. Unfortunately, a second's not going to be there. CS Cody going to be able to pick it up though. Or versus 2, you kind of got to imagine that a save might be in order. Flashing away, the operator wanting to go in aggressive with it. Still having that sword in hand as the player has done so much, but Gallon Shade's going to be able to collect them. Brownie tries to go in for the comeback, but despite the hero play, they're not going to find anything.
Okay, Dallas Tigers feel a little bit more in control. Honestly, it was a bit of a... It was not necessarily Dalhousie Tigers stepping up to the plate, but rather just capitalizing on the mistakes that St. Clair did, starting off with not the best dart in the world, plus not the best entrance from Sushi as a Neon, pushing through the smoke, facing off 3 rifles. So you gotta take these wins as they come along. Jello still has enough money to once again buy an operator. It will take one more round for them, their economy to break. So we'll see how that comes along. Sushi getting first contact onto that drone. Dalhousie Tigers falling back into a default state, trying to figure out where they should poke and prod, waiting for any aggression from the side of St. Clair to come out.
Reach playing a little bit aggressive. See what their end goal is going to be. The attackers looking to try and end towards A. Only one defender here. It is interesting seeing this Sova not really going to be able to take any space after last couple of rounds. They've been doing a lot of aggressive micro aggressions towards this A site especially. They're going to be coming back here. I think that this Neon might need to start moving. Maybe not aggressively, but they definitely have to do something. Cage going to come through. Benson keeping strong here, not going to falter just yet. They might not realize that they're here. Benson finds one. Benson finds a second. CS Cody's going to be the one to take him out. Brownie's going to be able to call out Mika here, shutting down the Hunter's Fury. It is not going to matter. A 4v2 position, needing Fregoso to go wild here. But it does seem like they've been detected. They've been found out. The shorties here. Sushi finds one, but Jello connecting the shots, jumping through CT, connecting and finding match point.
Match point.
The idea was there though. Dalhousie Tigers, you know, they had a pincer approach onto that singular Banson, that Cypher alert player on the A side, but it was just not meant to be. Mika and Ben was dealt with really quickly with that kill trip, and following with that, the rest of St. Clair just stormed that site. It was over before you know it. It was a good idea, trying to use that Rolling Thunder, but now they're gonna be on a bit of a mixed spot here. Galen with a stinger. CS Goldie, knives out. Just popped as you hear it from the audio cue. The extremities are being contested with, but Varsio's feeling that there's nobody. Now, obviously because Jello's actually posted in that cellar, calling for reinforcements as the drone is pushed out.
Spike down A.
Jello finds the next with the operator, shutting down Mika. No more ultimates in hand, despite that player having it for so long. Ben finds one. Ben finds a second. Brownie's going to come through with the flash, going to relieve some pressure, but not going to be able to get away. Ben finds a third, looking to get on for an ace here, but will they be able to do it? Oh, once this Sova finds this audio, they might be in for a world of pain to their opponents here. If you don't shut down Varsio, we've seen time and time again that they can be such a threat. Varsio finds one. Instantly, Jello gets shut down, though. A 3v1 situation. You cannot be happy. You cannot think that this is winnable. However, Varsio having a really good intuition about this, rotating away despite seeing somebody on the A site here. The camera's going to be able to detect them as soon as they start their journey over towards C. Not entirely sure if they got called out there, but I do believe Varsio has been spotted. Yep, there's the ping on the main map. I'm going to go for the plant. Varsio, full utility, finds one, doesn't secure a second, and we're going for a little bit longer with 9 rounds being secured for this attacking side.
Dallas Tigers just absolutely punishing the over-aggression from the side of St. Clair, sending 3 players down into grass, but not necessarily trading off each other. The idea was there, but Ben, just, you know, the raid boss on the side of the Tigers, just holding firm on the CTs, on the attacker's side, and just mowing these players down. Okay, we still have a game ahead of ourselves. St. Clair on match point, but is in a bit of a mix by 3 sheriffs, 2 vandals. Once again, opting for an aggressive stance, all clustered in this mid space, apart from a singular Varsio on that A. The drone comes out. A lot of attention and pressure is being pushed on C, but they didn't know the flanks are already here.
Oh, the 3-person flank fighting in the attacker's spawn. Hunter's Fury gonna try and take them out, but no shots will be able to connect. Tailwind gonna be used already, so there's nothing to try and attack the sites with. Needing to play simple, needing to play these short, little, aggressive positions over towards B, however, going to really be crucial. Will this be the fall of Dalhousie? That's going to be the question. Benson placed so far up in the B main. They're all the way up towards the spawn. One wrong move, one wrong position from this attacking side will lead to their demise. The Omen's still going to be available to try and save them. However, this dog not going to be able to connect onto Varsiel. There's the first, connecting the spike.
Down.
No longer having that in play, dodging out on the flash. Mika no longer
Revealing area.
here. Such a strong player, shut
30
down so
seconds
easily
left.
here. Smoke's coming down. Nobody's actually going to go for a flank play, which is a little bit interesting. Jello going to have this paranoia lined up to connect onto
Spike
2.
planted.
Finding 1. Gallon not to getting 2. It's going to be Ben to
One
get the
enemy
3rd.
remaining.
Brownie trying to bring it back. However, it's a 1v2. The captain of the team needing to go big and unable to find it. Ben with another 3K. Connects another round. Easily the MVP of Dalhousie.
Okay, Dalhouse now, double digits to their name as well. It could have gone either way, to be honest, Cherry. If they had walked back to A, they would have set up, they have walked straight into the trap that St. Clair had set up for them. But fortunes may be, they moved on to C. Yes, got a couple of, shots to their head, but manages to clean themselves back up. St. Clair Academy, let's look at the out economy real quick. Brownie with the rolling thunder in hand. Like the Girthquake coming out to stun some of their supporting characters here, especially Sushi on the push, trying to get one, and CS Goldie will go down for it. Sushi's now trying to get out with their life, which they will indeed. That's 1 down for the side of Dalhouse Tigers. Player disadvantage, not looking good. They have to re-explore, sending Fragso, Fragoso down this mid.
Oh, we're going to be seeing that Rolling Thunder available for the defenders here. They can easily play that retake position that they definitely are going to want to do. Now, we haven't been seeing a lot of those happening just yet. Mika's going to be able to find the first. Varsiel taken offline. Definitely going to be really nice being able to even up the player deficit here. Now, when we look at this map, it does seem like there's going to be a hit in progress pretty soon. And especially now that we're seeing this neural theft come on, it's going to give some information away. Do they commit? They're not going to, despite... Oh, never mind. They're just waiting a little bit. 2 players on the site. Does seem like there's Fragoso playing with danger, but they're still going to be able to connect the
30 seconds
headshot. Taking back the lead. Brownie stunned up, unable to connect. Ben finding the kill. We might be going to overtime.
Spike
Despite
planted.
the 7-0 lead we started with, Dalhousie taking the advantage, and they're going to be able to take the round.
St. Clair don't even have enough money. If they lose this, they don't have enough money to contest their match point in the 11-12 that might be coming. And so this is, they're looking to save most likely because they want to be able to have a winning advantage and not move into overtime. Banson, I think, might have been hurt in the heavens. But you see, Jello's actually on the other side of the map already, wanted to save that. Maybe some exit frags from the set of Banson. That's
Last player standing.
The exit frags won't even be coming out. 11 rounds converted. An absolute masterclass here. They were down. They were out. It was 8-12. And at this point, it is looking like we are going to overtime. We are going to be seeing this go further and further before we head to splits, before we head to Lotus. This map still needs to be finalized. Now, who is going to be the one to do it? That's still to be determined. And the timeout just to try and regain the mentality here. Obviously, we look at the ultimate economy. There is going to be 2 massive ults in progress here. With that Hunter's Fury, with that Rolling Thunder for Brownie and Varsiel, they need to go big with those. Varsiel having a little bit of one of the weaker performances. We'll see whether or not with the Hunter's Fury, they can bring it back and shut them down. Since as we saw in the first half, they were doing extremely well, extremely proficient with their gunplay. However, it has started to look like they had a little bit of a mental decline. I'm not entirely sure what would have happened there. Brownie, Sushi, Benson, and Jello, however, doing masterclass performances. Jello, especially with the operator, to see them having to go back to a Vandal. We'll see whether or not they can put up the same performance as we saw them earlier with some of their massive clutches. But we just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see indeed. You know, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Dalhouse to starting this map on a 7-0 we might have an overtime on the first map, on the first match, on the first season of the CCL Valorant tournaments here. Ladies and gentlemen, can I just say it has been an absolute banger and we haven't even begun. The timer is ticking now. It is live, potentially either the last or the beginning of OT. In either case, it is both teams to be able to press out and figure out how they want to play in an advantageous manner. Dalhousie Tigers already has stellar control and a majority of A. Varcel looking to give that up. You called it. They do have Hunter's Fury as well as that Rolling Thunder. They can do a quick and decisive retake. So Varciel is opting to maybe play in that position, giving the site over for free. And that should be quite evident, especially with that drone coming out, the smokes as well. Very, very clear signals that the site is theirs for the taking.
Dalhousie, if they've taken over the site, they want to be able to bring it further. Hunter's Fury going to be able to find one. Varciel connecting the shots. Only going to be left to a Rolling Thunder to take over the site even harder. Sushi going to be the first one out off the paranoia, connecting more. Brownie gets another. They want to close. They don't want overtime, and they're not going to let it happen. Fregoso, despite being on the lurk, is going to have to come back through main. Drone going to be able to clear out all of CT. Fregoso finding the first, looking to secure a second, unable to connect any shots. 7 volts remaining in the chamber, picking up the site. 9 seconds remaining in Cello to close out map number 1, 13-11, destroying the chances of overtime.
I can't believe that we almost got overtime even in the first match, but it wasn't meant to be. St. Clair Academy looked so good, so coordinated. Whatever the coach talked about in those final moments just allowed St. Clair Academy to push themselves over the edge. The regroup coming out from Brownie, just the proactiveness from Varciel to start their Hunter's Fury and just buy time. And ultimately, when Fregoso came, sorry, not Fregoso, when Fregoso, the final player of Dalhousie Tigers, came onto the site, it was just too little, too late, too many bodies to handle around. And that is the first map going to the side of St. Clair Academy, which wasn't even their map pick, can I just add. It was Dalhousie Tigers that chose this map. And so moving into the next map here, Split is St. Clair's map pick. They will start on the defense, and they're looking to put their opposition into the ground.
Heading into map number 2, I believe that Dalhousie is going to be starting on the defense? No. Yes. Yeah, no. Maybe? Yes.
I
No.
think it's St. Clair. St. Clair should be on the defense, I believe.
Oh,
I am correct.
I don't know, but we'll see.
No, you're right. You're right. I
Yes.
apologize. I apologize, Sherry. It is Dalhousie Tigers on the defense. That is my bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that Dalhousie on the defense, they should realistically be able to win, because this is a little bit of a defensive start. But the problem is their defense looks a lot worse than what their attack looks like. They started to get the hang of it towards the end of the first side, but at least towards like the first 9 rounds, it really looked like they were just having a rough time doing anything.
It just might be a warm-up thing, you know? It just might be the warm-up. You see Dalhousie Tigers, yes, starting off 7-0, but the good news is that it ain't a best of one, right? They have a bit of warm-up time to come around and be able to push themselves through. So we'll see if the warm-up was good enough for them to be able to maybe make some, energy plays onto Split, maybe steal St. Clair's map pick away from them. I like Split personally, though. Like you call it, it's a bit faster, it's a bit tighter. 2 sides, a short mid to allow great lurks and allowing the rotates a bit more interesting plays as well. So would be able to be interesting to see how these they play around. You get the typical double initiators, but often as well, sometimes you see double controllers on split to be able to control that mid space. Because once that's given up on the defense side, it's a lot harder to regain at least backup reinforcements from each other from side to side. So it would be interesting to see how that goes along. And I think I'm also hearing from production that these players don't want to break. They feel fired up. They feel like they do want to keep going ahead. Um, so I think we're just gonna keep yapping until we get ourselves a bit of a green light here. But what do you think about Split so far? How do you feel about Split as a choice of map here?
Well, I think that it definitely does fit their playstyle very well because as we saw, they were playing really aggressive when just capturing sites. And I think that is kind of just the whole premise of maps like Split. You do need to play really aggressive, you need to play really fast. There is options for lurks, but you usually aren't going to use those to like win games. So we'll see what is gonna happen. Um Personally, though, I'm really looking for, uh, some kinda changes in what's happening.
Okay, yeah, yeah, no, certainly. Dalhousie Tigers, they do need to show a bit more force. They I think after a while they got the hang of St. Clair Academy, so hopefully they will be able to move into the splits just a little bit tighter, a little bit faster, and be able to get at least their pistol. So we'll see how that goes along as well. And yeah, so a quick reminder to all those in Twitch chat right now. This is the first series for the Canadian Collegiate League to host their first ever Valorant Winter Series here, or as I guess some people like to call it, the Winter Agenda. Don't quote me on that. What you're seeing on screen right now is the very first map for the very first match between two stellar teams uh, trying to seed themselves up in this group stage seeding rounds at the moment. And we have a total of 18 teams spread across three groups that will be battling it out non-stop in all of January and February to be able to be top three of their groups and immediately qualify themselves into the playoffs in March. So if you aren't just there yet, just be sure to stop by the website of the CCL. They have a beautifully done up website for all the information as well as schedulings that you need to be able to take part of as we bring ourselves here into the next map.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that realistically speaking, there is also definitely going to be a good chance we can see that Neon come out once more. Despite it getting nerfed, I do believe that Neon definitely is really proficient still on maps like Lotus especially, and then also on Split, it is definitely a playable agent still. I don't think it's going to be as likely of a choice as something like a Raze, maybe even run a double duelist with that Raze and Jet. But I think in that kind of situation, you're really going to start preferring the St. Clair since you can put your Omen player on one of those kind of aggressive agents who does have that opportunity to go in and get a pick and then get out like a Jet or Raze or Neon, or potentially even a Yoru could come out here. And I think with their opping
Ooh.
skills, they're going to really want to try and look to maybe get that double duelist in play and maybe switch one of their other players over to a controller.
Actually, you just triggered something in me, Cherry. Like Teho, I believe should be pickable. I actually haven't conferred with the organizers here, but if they are, Teho is actually an excellent pick for split. A lot of close quarters that can be cleared with that freaking the salvos plus the Armageddon on board to be just absolutely wipe out a site. I think on its own, Teho, the agent on its own isn't like an S tier super crazy agent, but paired up with the right players like a Yoru to get into the teleports with certain salvos, or to couple with like nades as these players are being offset by utility. I think it's a combo wombo that can be absolutely exploited on split. And so I'd be very excited to see one of these teams maybe test out a run on that. As we get ourselves ready to move into agent select in about a few seconds or so.
Yeah, I mean, we are starting right about now, heading right into split. We'll see what the comps are gonna look like. Now, we're expecting to see that Tejo get reached into the pockets and
No!
instantly locked in. Miko's gonna be the one to do it. Fragoso going to lock in a raise as well. Galen piloting the breach to combo with the raise. And Ben sticking on the Clove, a little bit more of a dominant character on a map like Split since it is a little bit smaller. When you're playing in mid, you do get reach across the entirety of the map, and it seems like Varsiel wants to go for a Teo as well, which is definitely interesting seeing these double initiators coming out, and Jello sticking on the Omen. Kind of interesting that they wouldn't want to run double duelist on a map like Split, to especially be able to get an operator online. However, we'll see how this is going to work. Benson sticking with the same character that they were on in the previous game. With that Cypher getting locked, we'll see how that's going to be able to fare compared to the Haven, which had a little bit more lurk potential. But yeah, I mean, I can't hate on the comp at all.
Yeah, the thing I'll say is the pick for Cypher is still kind of like the old school kind of comp pick, Sentinel pick of choice. I think with Tejo coming online, there's a more variety that you can pull out, right? You can actually get like, you can play around with a Vice or even with a Deadlock, right? Using those salvos to flush people out, then throwing, that mesh net out to secure an easy kill. These are combinations that, a Cypher on an attack round can't necessarily deliver. So I do see potential for more exploration, but yes, Cypher is a staple here on that split side, be it on the A or B, to be able to have very, very sneaky cams and even aggressive ones to be able to take some space on the attack side. And so we'll see how that goes along. Both teams opting for double initiator. Like I said, double controls was an option. Sometimes people run like Vipers to be able to lurk up an A, but that's not to be. So we'll see an explosiveness that we've seen actually in the previous map on Haven as well, and how these players have to deal with and contend with so much utility, so much flashes, and now with those tails on both sides, the salvos that they have to deal with, the package that comes out as well to be able to stun and suppress some of these players too. So we'll see how this split goes about, Cherry.
As the gates open, CS Goaty removing the tripwire from the B site, instead opting to place it in mid. Fragoso is going to be the first one to pop off with the kill, shutting down the opponent in the raise here. A little bit of a different state of mind than the previous games where they were playing a little bit slower pace. This time they're putting a lot of space up towards A here, taking this aggression, going to want to continue it. We do see the Omen on the lurk towards B, along with the Breach, who's trying to work their way up in mid. Smokes are coming out here, but they still do get information. CS Goaty going to be able to detect someone's feet instantly. Cam destroyed. Going to keep them guessing on this defensive side. Dallas. Oh, how will they react? How will this Cypher be able to change up the pace of the game? Shutting down the breach in the opposite of the spawn would definitely be nice, but right now it's going to be seeming like CS Goaty finding the first, finding a second from Mika. Benson's going to trade him out, but in the 4v2 position, Spike no longer in hand. Benson finds another, though, catching Fragoso off guard. It's a 2v3. This Omen has been detected once before by CS Goaty. Will they be noted here, though? That's going to be the question. As the smoke falls, they do find each other.
Shadows traveling.
Jello found out. Smoke comes through, but there's going to be a smoke to counter. Oh, both players noted. Finding everything here. We see 10 seconds remaining. Ben finds the first. It's going to be Jello to need to make some kind of play here, but realistically, there's not much more you can ask for. CS Goaty, after switching to the Cypher from the Jet, is going to be putting up some star player performance.
I love the adjustments from Dalhousie, right? The first 7 rounds of Haven, they were very, very, reactive. They just waited for pushes. They rotated out. But now in the lull period, they took initiative. They 3-man stormed mid. They caught all these players off guard, isolated the spike, and leaving. Yes, Benson had the lurk of an absolute lifetime, but you know, if the rest of the team isn't there to support, what good's a lurk? So great start for the side of Dalhousie. 2 Guardians, 3 Bulldogs to their name, regens and half shields. St. Clair, just classics. Fine, that's okay. Maybe looking for a bit more of a dent, but they've opting for, once again, St. Clair opting for more of a default, poking and prodding, trying to figure out if they can do the same thing and destroy some of those trips, which they did in the first round, and maybe spread things around, starting off with those salvos to clear off vents. This forces the opposition, Teho, to be back, but this mail is going to be rough.
Trip needing to be broken, but Fregoso playing right here. Trip gets found out. First gets found. Second gets found by Fregoso. Ben's going to be able to connect the next. Brownie gets the first kill of the round for the St. Clair squad, but Ben just running down the opponent's Jello left at 30 HP, and Ben to close out the round, taking the pistol, taking the eco, wanting to take more. We'll see if they can find out the bonus.
Yeah, we'll see about the bonus here. I think Dallas Tigers has done interesting things during bonus rounds, but on the flip side, you know, they're gonna have a slightly weaker buy from a weapons perspective. Coming into this, it's all gun game right now. No ultimates online just yet, but you know, you see the salvos coming out in play to force players off. I'm still looking at Varsiel to figure out how they want to utilize that. As the aggression comes out in mid, the move players coming out, the frags, the trades. Brownie with a couple of great shots to be able to avenge their teammate. That leaves Dalhousie Tigers in a bit of a lurch as well. The trip in mid to come out to secure themselves, but they're scrambling to figure out where they should be positioning themselves.
Dalhousie Tigers controlling the extremities of mid. However, there's not a lot of mid to try and be contested by this attacking side of the St. Clair Saints. They're going to want to try and opt in towards B, and with a lot of people looking to potentially hit on A, I don't totally understand where they came to this conclusion, but it clearly is not going to be the correct one, seeing as this explosion is about to be connected. Smoke start to come through. We see the Teho drone as well going to be clearing out the entirety of the site. CS Goaty, do you make the play? Only an insane egos can jump out of the smoke. Are you going to be the one to do it? No. Sticking to the team plan, wanting to play as a retake in a 3v4 situation. How will they attempt to be able to break through the defenses set up by this attacking side on the site? Oh, this is it. This is where they need to be able to do this. If they want to be able to win map number 2, it starts here, connecting the bonus. Benson finds one. The wall bang is not going to be able to connect the next. Brownie finds a triple kill on the round. Ben is going to be able to cut them down. Shutting down another. Varsiel is going to be the one to fly off the board. Ben wanting to go for more, switching to the new weaponry, collecting a Vandal here, but the crossfire is good. Jello shuts down Ben, taking the bonus round, not allowing an extended lead.
That was honestly close. Ben got a couple of 1v1s right there, but fortunately St. Clair had enough forethought to group up and get some 180 crossfires on that B site. First, the bonus round, first on the board, going to St. Clair's, which is a good start. You know, not to let anything snowball. Now we're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of things. Brownie 2 away from that rolling thunder, maybe opting to collect the world, not just yet, but in a very aggressive stance to push Benson off the back foot and maybe destroy that camp so there's no more looks of information. Is still there. The mid has started and the trades come out. Brownie with 1, Mika with a second.
I'm all out.
Varsiel is going to be able to bring it back. 3v3 position. Jello is going to be able to take the advantage in the player deficit. Varsiel with Spike, needing some cover, going to be able to get it from the dark cover. Fregoso, though, finding out the bomb. Paint shells coming out, trying to clear some more space in mid. However, there's going to be the lurk coming in from Benson as we see right now. It's only going to need to be Jello to hold this spike in hand. A 2v2 position. Showstopper is going to be available. TPing up. Going to be able to find out Fregoso, but Fregoso not figuring it out in time. Jello traded out. Benson, how do you approach this? How do you win this? They're not going to be detected. However, CSGOD watching the wrong angle. We'll see whether or not they get found out here. Realistically, though, Benson has a massive positional advantage here. Do they find the kill? Spike gets found and instantly dives away, diverging over towards A. CSGOD still hasn't detected them, and they haven't seen that the spike is gone. Wait, do they know?
Oh.
CSGOD.
They don't. I don't think so. Benson with the play of a century. 13 seconds left, doing
10
their
seconds
signature last minute
Spike
plant. And the penny has finally dropped. So CSGO is wrapping around, but has basically no information, no trips as to where Benson might be. And Benson has been an absolute lurk god this entire time, actually opting to play a bit more of a safe route here.
Okay, CSGOD called out. Both players understanding each other's locations. 3 bullets remaining in the chamber, looking to go for a reload. Benson peeking in and out, going to figure out that they're not on the spike. Do you peek again? The bomb gets halved and they want to go for more! Securing the half! Not gonna be able to secure the round. Attackers take another, and St. Clair Saints even out the score deficit 2-2.
Pros don't fake, but it might have been a good idea to do at least a half there. CSGOD not able to get the final defuse and just getting caught off guard with that Cypher v Cypher. We're all tied up, and unfortunately, Dalhousie Tigers, they're gonna be looking economy-wise to have to save Ben on with that not dead yet, so might have a second chance to fire back. But for now, they're looking for a more default approach, taking extremity control once more.
Oh, St. Clair Saints taking the lead here, shutting down the breach. Fregoso going to be forced to back off, spotted in the end, but still with the flash coming out, Sushi's going to dive right on in to the Parasites, which are Dalhousie squad. They've been trying to leech into this game, keep their score alive, but right now it doesn't seem possible. We'll see if they can throw it back, take some more rounds. They've been doing a great job of keeping up in the end. Benson having a great shot on one potentially, with Ben taking their way right back here. Phantom gets spotted, but it's not gonna matter. There's one on the opposite side. CSGOD peeking out of heaven and instantly cut down. Sushi to close out the round.
Flawless indeed. Lead in St. Clair's favor. Dalhousie Tigers getting a lot of 1v1s right now, not grouping up in their thrifty, so very unfortunate, was not able to maybe take away any weapons from the side of St. Clair. And now they're actually basking in the glory, especially with 3 ultimates to their name, an Armageddon plus a Rolling Thunder. Those are powerful ones. You actually see Varcio with the finger on the trigger as well, just waiting for the opportune time. I think Dalhousie Tigers are maybe reading it. They're actually positioning themselves off site. So CSGOD with a kill trip in there. That's the Armageddon coming out first. The smokes as well. The storms coming in.
Armageddon going to be unable to find anything. The breach ult along with the showstopper. Rolling Thunder gonna be able to connect onto one. Barcio finds one. Barcio finds a second. Barcio on a triple kill, finding a fourth. Wanting to find the ace. Barely not able to find the ace. Ben needing to find a kill or die. How will they try and make something out of this? Playing aggressive, unable to secure anything. And Jello, one shot, one kill, one round with a 2v4 turning in 2-4 would be insane. Maybe a 3-3 would be a little bit more reachable, but oh my gosh. Utility going to be on this.
30 seconds left.
Joe is not definitely going to have a lot of it with only one shrouded step available. Now having the ult a little bit of utility. We do see on the other side, Aftershock's gonna be there, but Gallon, not Shay, taking the kill. Jello instantly shut down, and if you are Varsiel, you gotta be tragic. That's insane. They found a 4K, and if it was only one more shot to the body, Gallon, not Shay, would have fallen as well. They would have had the ace.
They would have had the ace indeed, but that was not to be. Dalhousie Tigers tie things up. They're going to be moving into round number 7. Not fully stacked though, right? They won that round, but at what cost? St. Clair Academy, the good news is that St. Clair Academy did burn 3 ultimates, right? And they don't have much else back. Although, once again, like you called it, 4K on Varsiel, 3 orbs away from their Armageddon once more. But Mika has Armageddon, so could use that proactively. Now Salvos to create a lot of space in mid. Vents and Mail cleared, but Mika's there with the stealth drone as well, broken by Sushi. The smoke comes out. A lot of players stacked here, so we'll see how these players come out and return Salvo to create that space. Meanwhile, you see Benson actually once again on the lurk. This player is non-stop.
Benson walking into the A site here. Not to be called out by Gallon, not Shay. However, they might have a little bit of an understanding, seeing as that cage went out. Probably going to be expecting the site to be a little bit aggressive. We see on the minimap on the top left that there have been some pings from this blue side on some pretty favorable spots, but Benson unable to connect the shots. And it's going to be Fregoso to be able to connect the kill. 40 seconds remaining. Varsiel having that spike, looking to plant it on the B site. However, wanting to find some kills, even out just first. Finding the first with Phantom, looking to connect a second, unable to do it. Segosi finds 2 in a 2v3 position. Ben's gonna want to be the first to concede. Sushi finds it instantly. Fregoso trying to keep the lead, but Brownie is here. Brownie gonna be wanting for more here, but Paint Shell is going to cancel the plant. 15 seconds remaining. Fregoso at 1 HP, and Brownie secures the kill, clutching it up. And in a 2v1, Brownie is the one to bet on.
That was, not gonna lie, that was kind of disgusting. That final hospital flick onto the head of Fregoso just secure themselves to push them back into the lead. But it has been a bit of a back and forth in the last 3 rounds. They're all vying for that number 1 seed position. And once again, might I remind everybody that it is in Dalhousie Tigers' favor to win this. They have to win this to be able to secure themselves map 3 in this best of 3, and they're looking to storm that mid side. It has helped them in the past, especially on that first round, and they're looking to take the fight over, but no one's there to receive. Everyone else is stacked, but Jello's here on the lurk. How many can they get?
I'm going, my man.
I mean, at least Ben is able to secure 1 kill. However, their HP is not looking good. A bleak round for Dalhousie. Can they come back, secure a couple kills? That's going to be the question. Peeking out a gun, but Sushi shut down. That's 2 Vandals converted. And it's looking like they're going to be able to shut down some more. Able to kill 3 on an eco round. Not the worst in the world. However, it would have been nice to get the win. We'll see if they can bring it back here once they do have an economy that is more favorable for a buy round.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. A small dub that Dallas Tigers can put under their belt to be able to not let the economy for St. Clair kind of snowball their way through. Okay, that's fine. They're still holding on to, you know, that Armageddon, plus now the Rolling Thunder online for maybe a great retake position. But St. Clair Academy grouped up for an Armageddon once more. Varsiel once again with the Armageddon, the dash in from Sushi to get nothing. Unfortunately, Fregoso just quicker on the trade.
Fregoso gonna be able to connect the first here. They do still have a lot of ultimates in hand. They're gonna be able to drop 1 here. Showstopper gonna be able to find something. Armageddon to try and get more. Force them into a bad position, but it's not gonna happen. Fregoso barely touching the edge here. Not gonna be found out just yet. We're gonna be seeing a lot of ults coming in to try and counter. Jello TPing over to the B site. There's gonna be a bit pretty fast response though. Fregoso finds a 3rd on the round. Brownie taken offline. Benson going aggressive. It's gonna be too aggressive and not allowing the ace, but Ben is going to be allowing the round to be converted.
Yeah, you know how I talked about St. Clair just making mistakes and then Dalhousie Tigers just absolutely capitalizing on it? Yeah, that was not the best execute of an Armageddon. You know, the whole idea of that is not to be able to make damage or kill players, but to be able to flush players out. The positioning was fine. You were trying to flush players out of A heaven, but no one was there to wait and capitalize on that. And Fregoso just able to just click heads and get away with 4 kills to their name. So Dalhousie Tigers has to absolutely take that dub for themselves, putting another one to the board, closing the gap against St. Clair. Looking to try to do a bit more default once more, but Dalhousie Tigers' intuition is okay. They try A. Let me push up B. So a lot of map control has been given. Let's see how CS:GO plays this, because they must know that their site is absolutely stacked.
Benson called out by the drone. Seeing a little bit of utility to flush them out, but damage in response. Jello is going to be the first to find a kill. With the Sheriff in hand, able to shut down the duelist. Oh, this defensive side here. Fregoso offline. Somebody's been putting some massive numbers in this second map. Kind of begs the question, how are they going to attempt to come back from this deficit, especially when their Teo Mika is at such a low HP line, barely in the negatives at 49 HP. It's going to be extremely easy to be able to shut them down unless they can find those shots first. 37 seconds in the round, you need to start playing a little bit faster paced. Benson probably going to want to start making a distraction over towards A, disturbing the piece that has been broken.
All missiles away.
Seeing this B site already hit. Mika's gonna have some audio cues, I believe, from their teammate, but it's still gonna be Benson finding the first. Showstopper comes online. Ben's gonna be able to shut down Benson on the flank, and the site has been taken. We need to be able to put that plant down though. In a 4v3, it's not gonna happen. 3 seconds. There's no more time, and it's going to be a phenomenally timed breach ult to bring another round.
St. Clair trying their best to plot as late as possible, not realizing the absolute GOAT Gallon. Only 2 kills to their name, but just smart enough to hold on to that Rolling Thunder and deny a plant from the attacker's side. And, you know, ultimately Mika just hit in the corner. Yeah, we had some frags out from Ben trying to maybe strip away some weapons, but as long as Mika survived, which they absolutely did in Vents, that point is now tied up once again. A real back and forth, Cherry, and it's gonna see who really starts to peel away, or will we get a 6-6 at the half? A default approach once again from the side of St. Clair. You see the little spider or crab. I haven't heard what people are calling it colloquially yet, but it is the stealth drone from a formality point of view.
My eyes are down.
And the stealth drone from the side of Dalhousie Tigers actually to come back and maybe get some space and retake that A main control, but it seems like St. Clair Academy want that mid control.
Pinchos come out, forcing Neil into Vents here. Oh, Galen looking to play aggressive, looking to secure some kills. How many will they be able to find? Being called out, looking to go for a flash. Unfortunately, a flash was not the correct option. But it's gonna be Mika finding one, finding two. Back in a 3v3 off the hands of Mika. Jello finds one, but Ben is here to stop the push, and it's Drax. A double kill for Ben. Unable to secure the next. Ulting to try and get away. CS:GO going to be able to connect some shots. Jello finding out Ben, but it's not gonna be enough. 6-5, and it still seems like the lead has come back.
Round in the half.
Despite St. Clair's efforts, they have not been able to keep up with the aggression that's been shown to them.
I just want to call a micro play that I saw. Jello was the last player there. Ben had just popped the not dead yet. So Jello knew that that CS:GO, who was on site shooting at him, was going to leave the kill to Ben, and therefore Jello just was be able to, you know, look at the right spot, waiting for Ben to hop out of heaven and get the kill onto him. Good micro tactics from these individual players, but enough of these you know, this is a team play after all. And let's see if St. Clair Academy, they have what it takes to bring us to a tie. Stealth Drone comes out, spots a lot of people down mid. So we're ready for initiation. There's 4 defensive players stacked around this corner, and St. Clair, they're getting the heebie-jeebies out of it. I don't know if they want to keep testing the grounds here, but there's a lot of utility that can be thrown their way to hold this back. Now, if that goes so, it's going to be falling back based on those nades, but reclaiming the space. No one's there to challenge this. So a lot of information being fed to Dalhousie Tigers that, hey, like, they're just throwing utility out, but it's not the play.
Scatter.
Seeing
This is how it ends.
Armageddon gets popped here, looking to try and cancel some aggression. Jello finds the first, but the Armageddon finds out 2. Mika doing a great job keeping this player deficit in their hands. Sushi playing with danger, playing in heaven here. Going to be hit out by the fault line. Barely not getting shot by the paranoia, but right now all players launched over here, trying to go in aggressive, but Fregoso diving right onto a Molly. It's not gonna matter. Sushi gets taken offline. Fregoso gets head tapped. Varcio finds one. Varcio finds a second with a wall bang. Varcio goes in aggressive, unable to get anything. Ben, the last one to find a kill here with the defuse starting up. How much more can you ask for? The wall bang needs to be done. The wall bang needs to be good. But 7-5 once again. This time, not gonna be in St. Clair's favor. Instead, Dalhousie taking the lead.
Absolute goated ultimate from the side of Mika, and interestingly enough, okay, at the flip, I've never seen this. On the flip, pistol round, timeout being called. Have you? My first time. I don't know about you. I've never seen a timeout being called right at the half. It seems like, you know, despite them coming up 2 over their opponents right now, Fregoso feels like more could be perhaps done to secure themselves here. Might I just remind viewers in chat right now that it is on Dalhousie Tigers to win this to bring us to a map 3, or else they're going to be put out in the very first map of this winter series in the CCL Valve. So perhaps they're worried about that. Maybe they want to really win this pistol.
Yeah, this pistol is going to matter a lot. As we said earlier, you start 9-5 down. You're going to be disappointed. You're not going to be happy. We'll see whether or not this SCC roster, do they have anything to show us on their defensive side? I'm thinking that they definitely can look really strong on it. But okay. The tripwire in CT is a little bit insane, but I'm looking forward to see how that's going to be played. I think, okay, I understand.
Okay.
They want.
Yeah.
They're playing that.
They're basically setting up trips all around A. They're gambler stacking B, and they want to make sure that they have enough space to rotate in case their gamble is not right. It's a bit of a, you know, a split play. You know, kind of hedging your bets just a little bit. We'll see how Dalhousie Tigers does this. Do they overextend on A, or do they just basically just do a quick walk up? Because no one's home, honestly. Knock knock, who's there? Absolutely nobody.
Alright, right now we're seeing the execute over to the A site here, but the defenders stay strong in their ideology, in their playmaking. As soon as that trip gets destroyed, though, the rotation finds its way. Diverging towards the A site. It's not going to be pretty playing a retake. We see 3 players already stacked up in heaven. We'll see how this engagement's going to go. Will St. Clair be able to take it? They're all playing very close, though, wanting to be sneaky about it. Tripwire's still going to be there if they do decide to start rushing out. Not Shea going to take the first engagement, but not able to connect any shots. Ben coming right on through. Varcio finding the first on down. It's going to be the next confusing little bit of a fight, but it's not going to end with Brownie dying just yet. Fregoso going to find one, finding a second, but an absolute masterclass. And the time is there. The time is good. And with 0.68 seconds, it's going to be the St. Clair Saints to take a 6th round.
The absolute wraparound from St. Clair Academy, right? Like, they gambled wrong, but they moved together as a team. They're using their stealth drones to clear all these areas. They launched themselves on site while leaving 1 or 2 look players around just to add confusion to the attackers. And honestly, that was a masterclass retake from the side of St. Clair Academy, even leaving 2 players on the side. They're looking to tie this up, Cherry, and with the rifles that they have to their name, Dalhousie Tigers are gonna have to really work hard to maybe strip some of the weaponry off them. Winning it is gonna be a tall order. I'd be absolutely shocked if that happens, but you know, weirder things have happened as now the Dalhousie Tigers, they're grouping themselves onto the mid, starting with a great frag onto Sushi. And Fragoso making so much chaos in the mid, forcing a lot of tension onto the B, but the rotates have already come out.
Oh, Dalhousie rotating over towards the A site here. Camera's gonna be in place. Brownie finds the first with the Vandal, marking them down. Benson looking to potentially find somebody over towards site here. How will they approach this? The spike is already going down. Immediately,
Spike
Cage
planted.
gets popped, not allowing CT any type of room. Barciel having a really good play with some mollies here. Benson finds the first, finds the second, and connecting the round. Brownie takes the defuse here, and you gotta give him credit where credit is due. Only lost a single player on their side.
Very clean. Honestly, very clean. Sushi caught off guard just a wee bit. But, you know, I don't think they had much. I think they had a Spectre, I believe, if I recall, to their name. So, not much financial damage. And once again, we are tied up. Honestly, it is looking so close. Split is really true to its name, a split down the middle here. Both teams just racking up kills. 19 on the board for Ben, 15 for Fragoso, and honestly, they're the hard hitters for the side of the Tigers. Let's see if they can continue the momentum as they move into their bye round here. St. Clair doing what they've done before, giving Tigers a bit of a taste of their own medicine by occupying mid. This leaves Benson on a bit of a lonesome self here, dealing with the flank around.
Immediately, shots coming down, trying to take down the final player in Jello, defending this B site, but not gonna happen. Paint shells find out CSGOD. It's gonna be Benson destroying Friodo, but it was all a fake. It was not even close to being a B hit. Instead, A gets absolutely devoured. We do see all 5 players starting their rotation. Dark cover coming up here. Will they be just jumping out? It only requires a good shot. Precision on Yelena-Shea's part. Instantly only brought down to 45 HP. It's been a retake and it's been completely destroyed.
Oh my days. Galenosia with the look of an absolute sentry, just hiding in the spot. I think Brownie actually pre-fired that corner as well, but just matrixed the whole thing, dodged every single bullet, got 2, maybe 3 kills to their name. Absolutely disgusting from the side of Dalhousie Tigers to avoid the bum rush that was St. Clair coming from the heavens. Very impressive nonetheless, honestly, the way they won that bonus round. So we move into the next round 16. What do these teams have to bring towards us? A quick pressure point with nades coming out and the jump peek from Sushi. Like, a bit of a trade of utility right there as they storm. Okay, a lot more players gonna be coming onto this site now.
Decay comes out. Sushi's gonna be the first one to fall. It's gonna be Barciel to go down next. CSGOD taking a couple shots, not gonna be able to connect onto anything. It's a 3v4 with 8 rounds to 7. You want to be able to bring double digits as soon as possible, but when you're down a player, it's going to be harder than you want. Brownie's going to be able to keep up, extending this lead. The deficit keeps on climbing here. Mika's going to be able to spot out one of their opponents here. And in a 2v4 situation, CSGOD needs to go crazy.
They do indeed, and you know, they're poking and prodding. The trip in mid is still there, so Benson is not at the moment very much alarmed. And they're spreading themselves in 2-2 fashion across the board. They have the
30
numbers
seconds
advantage.
left.
They don't need to go too far, but oh my
enemy
dears!
remaining.
Varsiel able to get the shot despite pushing out the utility. This leaves CS Goldie in a 1v fall. Extremely tall order as well, held back by the salvos. It's not, the save has been called. Not the best play from the side
10
of
seconds
Dalhousie. I think they tried to push up, but no one was covering heavens. And Brownie just able to get the absolute peak of a century.
8-8. Score is all evened up. How do you approach this? Dalhousie at a disadvantage. They need to be able to come back. They need to be able to throw some more rounds. Maybe take a timeout here after losing this half to start us out 3-1. They're going to be really disappointed on how this has been going for them. We'll see what the play is going to look like. Since, I mean, it seems like they want to go for a little bit of an A rush. That definitely could work well, but it looks like Fergoso might want to start launching themselves up towards mid. I mean, maybe just a default is going to be called here to try and just, like, organize themselves a little bit better. We're going to have to figure out what the play is going to be right in this round, since both teams looking to potentially hit some damage down mid. Brownie playing with danger here, looking to shed some light for their team on their opponents, taking a precise shot up towards mid, connecting onto Fregoso, and looking for more. They're going to be able to do it. The ego peak down mid to secure the next kill. After shot comes out, Gale, not Shay, going to be able to collect the bomb, bring it backwards, and a 2v5 off the back of Jello, finding out CS Goaty. I mean, you can't really be expecting this to get any better if you are on this Upper St. Clair roster. I mean, they've been up and out. Will they be able to shut down the next? That's going to be the question, and it's looking like they can do just that. There's going to be an Rolling Thunder if they so desperately need it, but at this point, Multitudes, it's seeming like with Jello off the... They can't shut this guy down. An absolute dominant time for Jello to just be in this match, taking B control and taking Galen not Shay down to the ground. A flawless round to connect this lead.
Yeah, very well done from St. Clair Academy. Timeout being called by Dalhousie Tigers, rightly so. They really messed up that last round. They made plans, but they changed it so late. You actually saw them in the early parts of that bye round in the last round. They were grouped up in A, and then they sent 3 players in the last few moments hurtling, that's a word, towards B. But Jello had already put in a very aggressive smoke down. So there was absolutely no space that they could contest, especially because they were on a save buy. And Dalhousie Tigers, you gotta be a bit more prepared for that, right? I'm looking at Mika, who's the IGL, to be able to call the right shots in a timely fashion and stick to the plan, especially when you just can't have 3 players rotating off the back foot. I know I'm ripping them a new one right now, but I hope that this is the time for them to really come together and get their nerves settled a little bit before things start rolling out of control. They're moving into the bye round. They're coming up with a plan, and they need to secure this win before St. Clair basically gets 10, maybe an 11, and before you know it, you have to face up with a match point and a series point, a map point and a match point for St. Clair Academy. So all eyes on Dalhousie. They do have Rolling Thunder. They do have Showstopper. Let's see if they explode. They're sending CS Goaty on a bit of a lurk, so we'll see how this does again. Once again, a very, very explosive, very prominent smoke coming out from Jello, coupled with the salvos to take aggressive garage space. Signature of them at the moment. Dalhousie Tigers need to adapt around it, but they're not playing just yet. They're defaulting their way around. CS Goaty waiting for someone to pick their head out, coming up with that boom bot firstly. So a little pressure has been made, but St. Clair Academy not too worried just yet.
They're gonna be able to ping out the Omen. Jello spotted, but they still are not rotating. Disciplined, decisive, dominant behavior. All 3 Ds are coming into play here. 3 ultimates on the stacking side. They need to be utilizing these to take back the lead or at least tie it up 9-9. Fregoso is going to be barely able to sidestep the stun, and Fregoso pulling out the showstopper, instantly shut down. It's going to be Varsile to bring back the lead, completely shut down everyone, and it's the St. Clair Saints to make a decisive blow against their opponents in the Dalhousie squad. And at this point, with a double digits being reached and the results being absolutely destroyed, you got to think that they have this game in the bag.
Yeah, the idea was there. Dalhousie Tigers, they sent, Mika on a solo kind of attention-pulling mission with that stealth drone, but I don't know if you caught that on the minimap. Varsile sent one of their own, covering all the way into Boba and Marcus, so they absolutely knew that was going to be an 8-hit, right? Once again, a lot of aggressive utility being used, but finally Dalhousie Tiger responds.
Ooh, responds right into the hands of Sushi with a double kill coming in from the showstopper. Continuing it up with the Vandal and a follow-up from Varsile to bring this to a 1v3 situation. I mean, we have a Sheriff looking to do it all, rotating over to A, getting called out by the sounds here. But they're going to... Oh, they don't even break the trip. Okay, well, that kind of gives them a little bit of information. They're going for the plant. They're not going to be going up into heaven. Now all 3 players stacking down onto the A site. We'll see how Ben can play into this. Bring down the smokes.
Armageddon is online as well, right? And you're playing on this corner, but you see St. Clair Academy working as a team.
Oh, getting called out, but the first looking to connect onto the second, unable to do it. Playing right outside with the shorty, switching over to the Vandal, and Ben falls to the ground. 11 rounds to connect into almost reaching match point. An absolute masterclass.
That was Sushi just showing Fregoso how a showstopper is done. After shutting down Fregoso's showstopper, whipping one out for their own, getting 2 kills and a Vandal frag, dominating just trying to fire back on all cylinders right now. You see the scoreboard. St. Clair Academy, okay, majority of them aren't better than the top frag on Dalhousie Tigers, which is Ben, 23 kills, but they're all fragging out on their own accord, and it's just a star team right now as Fregoso tries to take the fight and drops Brownie to their knees. The aggression has started.
There.
At this point, 3 ults for both sides. We're seeing the first one getting launched out here, clearing all of B Heaven. But unfortunately, there's nobody to clear actual domination for Varsile, though, to keep them on their toes. Ben's going to be the one to collect. Benson getting called out, but it's a little bit of lag on my end. And a little bit of a free screen there. Jello's going to be able to connect onto 1, stopping the plant for only just a second. It's a 3v2 situation. Sushi coming in from CT. The next one's going to be called out by the Cypher by the looks of it. Not totally sure what happened there. But looks like we might have a DC.
We're still continuing actually. Dalhousie Tigers 9-11 winning out that round. Great frags from their side to be able to just take aggressive space and throw everyone off guard. Playing as a team to be able to work together and get theirs on the board. So it is now St. Clair's Academy. They're still gonna be able to buy. Actually now Operator in the hands of Sushi. Okay, that will be interesting. We'll see how they want to work that. But it looks like they want to contest the space that has been commonly taken quickly by the St. Clairs. Jello being an absolute show of force right now. And that's the Rolling Thunder online to sweep up a very empty site, to be honest. St. Clair wanting to make sure there's no more lurks before drawing all their attention onto that B.
1 player in mid still. We'll see whether or not we're going to be seeing for Varsile. Maybe going for a flank here. Spike still hasn't been planted. Spike is in the back of the site right now, though. Benson having a free access to CT. Nobody's playing outside. No, not Shay. Going to be able to get the spike down. Looking to plant it potentially for main here. Unfortunately, the paint shells are not going to be able to stop the plant. Sushi with an operator, Brownie with a vandal. How much can they get? That's going to be the question.
Bomb buddy out.
Roomba's coming out. See how well that's going to be able to connect. I don't think it's going to be able to see the player behind box just yet. In the 4v4, it's starting right about now. The sun's going to be able to stop Sushi in their drags. However, stopping Sushi isn't all you got to worry about. Benson finds the first. It's going to be a neural theft to find out the last two. Ult comes through from Mika, but it's still not going to be enough. The spike starts to be defused once more. Mika finds one. CSGOD pulling out, finding a double, but not going to be able to find anything more. But no time. Despite Benson's effort, the game goes on. Both teams reach double digits.
Oh, it was a stalemate at that point in time, right? Dalhousie Tigers actually just waiting for a re-aggress so they can maybe drop more bodies, but ultimately it was Mika with the long lurk around to be able to secure just enough time for the players to collapse on to the retake and deny St. Clair a defuse. 10 on the board, double digits to their name. It's a real back and forth, and it feels like they're really gonna be able to show up right now. And Sushi wants to get back on that operator. Spotting around here will get spotted out. A single player looking to get a shot through the smoke.
4v4. Fregoso wanting to go aggressive here. Will they be called out? Will they be able to secure the kill? Brownie playing with danger, barely going to be outside of the smoke. Jello as well, going to be able to find one, but instantly those shots are going to be heard, detected, and opponents going to be able to sense this. Looks like we're seeing a divergence over towards the B site. With smokes coming down, looking to hold it off. Jello not going to have anybody to support them in mid, excluding the breach. Ooh, both of them on opposite sides. It's going to be difficult to really be able to find anything. We do still see the raise over from Sushi sitting on this A site, trying to protect it. However, that's going to be completely useless at this point, with the site being completely found out to be this B execute. 35 seconds on the board. You need to get it down. You need to secure the spike, but how are you going to be able to do it? Fault line comes through. We're seeing the showstopper as well. CS Goatley going to be able to find the first and a showstopper, securing Jello's death. A 2v4 situation. They want to tie it up, and they want to do it now. Mika's going to be the one to fall onto Brownie, and it's going to be the Sushi to save the op, looking to fight another day.
Yeah, it's the operator save. It's a must do. You can't do a single retake with that against 4 of the players. Dalhousie Tigers firing on all cylinders, honestly, right? You see the rest of the team, not just Ben and Fregoso, who are top fragging on their team right now. The rest of them, CS Gode, Mika, making work, right? Getting a lot of information, trying to keep it interesting with the rest of their team members as well. So less individual fights are actually appearing. You see the stuns coming out from the side of Galen, not Shia, absolutely pushing back the defense, just making space on that B, allowing Fregoso to go so far into CT territory to unleash that showstopper. So yeah, not a lot of kills to the name, but you cannot underestimate the amount of utility and just annoyance that a breach can bring to the table. And that's exactly why I believe St. Clair Academy, they're looking to call for a timeout. Coach Artemis not liking what they see, looking for a regroup here. Lost 3 in a row, they did. And so we're tied up. Both teams need to be able to clutch up to 13 to get themselves across the board. And St. Clair Academy want to put a pin in it and get map 2 out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to map 3, Lotus, I'd say that probably favors St. Clair Academy. Those 3 site maps, like they picked earlier, probably going to be happier on a map that doesn't require this, but we will see. I mean, right now it's looking like the Teo. It's been good, but neither team has really been able to find those plays with it that you kind of desperately need. I don't know though. That was just really not played well, I think, by St. Clair Saints. They had a good opening to the round, but unfortunately they started to crumble. They started to falter, and it seems like they really do needed that time. They really did need that timeout to be able to come back and potentially bring it 13-11 like we saw earlier. If you go into overtime, that pressure is going to start getting to you. We'll see if Dalhousie is going to be able to come back, take this 12th round, bring themselves to match point first. But off the back of some utility being utilized, it's going to look like this St. Clair squad, they're playing a little bit too aggressive in my personal opinion. We see this operator extremely close up and personal in B main. However, there's nobody there to contest with. So instantly, the rotations are going to need to come through here. Nobody's going to even contest this A main execute though.
Yeah, but they've not taken any space onto
planted.
heavens, right? So they're all caught in a corner. They haven't taken screens. This is St. Clair's opportunity to really wrap around. The only player playing offside right now is CSGOT. So that'll be on them to hopefully get 1 or 2 frags and maybe a flank. But with that smoke coming out, it's not looking good.
Oh, CSGOT finds the first, finds the second, finds the third, finds the fourth! And connecting all 4, securing the round, looking to go for more. It's going to require a miracle, and that miracle is not happening just yet. Sushi's going to be able to get 1, but will they be able to secure a second? The answer is going to be no. Galen walking through their teammates' abilities, going to be called out for it, but it won't matter. Fregoso is going to be the one to connect it and secure match point.
A little expensive walking through your own friends, Molly, but it is match point. This is the final round. This determines whether we go to a map 3 or we bring ourselves into overtime. Might I remind everyone that this is but the second map of the first game of the first series in this winter series of the CCL Valorant. Unbelievable. These teams are performing at tip-top shape, and we have absolute cinema ahead of ourselves at the moment. Mika opting for an operator on the attack. Can I just add? Benson holding up an elbow with a judge. So we'll see how this plays out, especially if they're going against Fregoso just leaping straight into the depths of A.
Fregoso at critical HP. The numbers aren't looking good. Jello's gonna fall though. He's gonna be able to get that metal theft on Benson. Making good for 1, but 1 is not enough to secure a round. 5 players, 5 kills are needed, and if you can only find out 1, not gonna have the ones you want. Ben's gonna be the one to fall there. Marcial is gonna be able to try and bring it back in a 2v3 position. You need to start securing. You need to be playing faster. The spike is ticking. Rockets coming out, but CSGOT secures the kill. We're going to map 3 by the looks of it. It's gonna require some crazy effort. 1 falls, 2 falls. The game falls down. CSGOT on a triple kill to bring us to map number 3.
Map number 3, we have a best of 3 lined up ahead of ourselves. It was actually to the wire. My heart stopped right at the last possible second right there with Sushi coming out. The hits lined up just a little bit, Cherry, and I thought there was a world we moved into OT, but Dallas Tigers, safe pair of hands, very steady, calmed their nerves just enough to pull ourselves back. It was a close game back-to-back all the way through 13-11 on this split map, stealing away St. Clair's Academy's map pick. So it's a back-to-back, and now's the time. Now's the time. We only have but a decider map, Lotus, to really show things out. And so I really think that we really have a map ahead of ourselves. This is absolute gameplay cinema, a masterclass of how teams adapt to each other, really understand each other's tendencies on lurks, on rotates, on the moves around, and just I'm stunned for words, Cherry.
Yeah, I mean, it was a absolutely absurd map number 1. We'll see whether or not St. Clair, can they take it back? That's going to be the question. They look to have some steam at the start, up, 5-3 or something, but unfortunately, once it got to that second half, they just kept on falling. We'll see whether or not they're going to be able to come back 1-2, 1-2-1. What's your prediction, though?
Ooh. Well, okay. I know at the start of this cast, I had put my pin on to St. Clair Academy, but I think I think we need a little bit more time to think about this as we move into a bit of an intermission. So, give the players a bit of time to rest, give us casters some time to rest our voices as we've been going absolutely ham on the casting here, giving all the action to you viewers out there. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Hydrate. Get yourself a little snack because we're here for some popcorn and some drama. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to map number 3 of the first game of this winter series for Canadian Collegiate League Valorant. We have Dalhousie Tigers versus St. Clair Academy. In this best of 3, we're going all the way. We're going the distance, Cherry J, on to Lotus. We've had basically map steals the whole way. 13 to 11 to St. Clair's on Haven. 13 to 11 to Dalhousie Tigers on splits. It's just been back to back. It did take a while for Dalhousie Tigers to warm themselves up, but I think by the performance on split, they are all fired up right now. So I think Lotus, let's go, Cherry. Let's go. This Lotus map's gonna be absolutely lit.
I I mean, I'm really excited to see what the actual options are going to be because if we remember here, game number 1, St. Clair went with a neon on Haven. Game number 2, both teams opted for a raise. Now, do we see St. Clair go back to the neon and potentially play against a raise, or do we see that double raise come out here, which I think I prefer. I think that double raise on Lotus is going to be a little bit more
Really?
notable, and it'll be a little bit stronger in the current meta, especially since you got A main, which really does need pressure from the defense if you want to be able to contain it. And then you just put your Sentinel on C, and then just play retake over towards B. Now, if we go over towards that B site, we kind of have to wonder who's going to be the one to really be playing there. Because if we see Ben once more on that Clove, I think that that could be a really dominant player to be able to just kind of secure that site for a while. Since, as we remember in the previous game, they were able to pop off like crazy, dominating the battlefield. I think they had 24 kills or something like that. It was at least like 21 at the end of the game. I definitely think that they are going to be a really notable player to watch out for here in game number 3.
Very much so. I completely agree with you. But on the flip side, I don't think we can underestimate St. Clair. I think the shots being called by Banson, the IGL right now, is spectacular. So if they actually went for a double controller composition into Lotus and just played around with the hearts and minds of their opponents, they can do some serious damage. Remember, this is 3 sides. There's a lot of empty space at the peripherals. You got that C mount. You have that A rubble that you can contest with, and just have these crazy lurks, especially if you like run like an Omen plus a Viper. Um, you can get some very, very strange but creative movements of your team along A, and just catch everyone off guard, which honestly Benson is kind of the king at. We've seen them do that time and time again, but enough of our speculation. We're actually gonna jump straight into, once again, map number 3 here and look at what these teams want to play.
We will
Instant lock
see.
of Teo.
I think this is one of Teo's weakest maps. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of am weird. I'm weirded to see Teo being locked on this map, but not Haven. I think that Haven would be a little bit more predominant, and we might be seeing Benson move
Agree.
off of the Cypher that we saw in 2 games in a row here, moving towards potentially locking in the Vice, a character that I am not
Ooh.
entirely familiar with myself, and we're going to be seeing both teams opting out of the raise, instead learning to look towards a Neon here, which is kind of crazy. I don't think that when I was thinking about this match beforehand, that I would have expected to see a double Neon coming out here, but no, this is definitely the map to do it. I think Lotus is definitely the most dominant Neon map in the pool currently, since it's a little bit easier to get onto site, and that movement that's gained from playing Neon gets you so much more value. These niche characters in the game of Valorant are so just dominant in recent times. You have these just insane small things that you wouldn't expect to be a powerful ability that just become extremely proficient. And it's characters like the Neon, like the Vice, who aren't amazing overall, but have just that small little kill factor that gets them these wins. And we're gonna see whether or not that this is gonna work here today. And Deadlock as well going to be picked up is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Deadlock. I was just about to really call that out, being the predominant Sentinel on C. We'll see how we play around that. They're going to be actually pushing up against a bit of a Star Academy here on St. Clair. Very early wall coming up that will be quickly dealt with. So that is the utility immediately out of the way. But so far, you know, Dalhousie Tigers, they're not budging just yet. They're looking to jump peek around and try and get this rubble space as well. They'll eventually have to choose St. Clair Academy where they want to go. Banson, they know, is typically on the lurk. So they're stacking B and C just a little bit more.
CS Goaty able to find the opening pick. Benson taken offline. Rubble was not cleared whatsoever. Now we look over towards the C site where the execute seems to be coming in. We'll see whether or not this deadlock without any utilities to back it up is going to be able to secure anything. Smokes are coming out. A little bit of net's going to be the next thing to really help themselves. And paranoia across the map to really dominate. Mika with some supporting utility secures the second kill. 3v5 situation, 2 players on critical HP looking to diverge into B, but it's going to be Ben to secure the kill with a tap to the head. It's not looking very good whatsoever. Gate not Shay finding one. Ben's going to be able to find the final and a flawless round to take the pistol.
What a strong starting statement from the Tigers here. Oh, yeah, it's such a far cry from what they look like on that Haven. They start off strong, but hey, look at the coordination between Fragoso's mesh net, right? That came out immediately. Mika sent out the salvos and got a just free kill off that. This is the combo wombo that I am harping on, and I really want these players, these teams beat. You know, in this CCL, be it VCT, be it in your ranked games, we really need to max out the potential. I don't think we've seen it all just yet. Fragoso coming out with that wall, very signature, very elite, not dealt with at all, to be honest. So this will allow Dalhousie Tigers to really weigh in on that A, where literally everybody is.
Looking at this, Jello's gonna be able to secure the headshot, finding a second. Mika falls to the ground. Galen not Shay in such a bad spot right now. Aftershock to try and wait out this spikes here, but spikes do go down, giving Galen the option to push back onto the B site. Going to be able to back out, respect the space gained by this attacking squad. In the 3v5 position, you wouldn't expect them to be here, but they are. Benson still playing aggressive in A, though. Looks to back out just about now. C site is still easily obtainable, but nobody's even attempting to diverge into C. I don't know if that's like a little bit of a bad call on the defender's end here. However, it is going to be the correct call. Fragoso finds the first, finds the second, unable to control the spray transfer. It's going to be good, bringing a 2K. But despite that, they're still going to fall in the end. Finding a first, finding a second. It's going to be an absolute domination. And despite a comeback, especially at the back of Jello, it's not going to matter. And 2 rounds are found.
Dalhousie Tigers, why are you doing this to me? I just praised you, right, on round 1 for your team coordination, and then you pull that stun out? That was very fragmented, right? Allowing Jello to get a couple of kills and then having to split up and just depend on individual fights. Fragoso lucky to get 2 under their belt as well afterwards, so very messy. Lucky with the recovery there, so very important. Dalhousie Tigers looking to push up even more. Okay, so this is good. This is interesting. They're spicing things up a little bit. All the map space is gone. They have to know where these final players are. It's just a matter of buying enough time for the 3-man flank to come in.
Oh, I mean, with this flank being in place, this could be really good. Really good it's gonna be. Wow, I did not expect all 3 players to stay alive there. However, they did. It's a 5v3. CSGO, he's gonna be able to find some shots. Fragoso is gonna be the one to secure the kill. Sushi playing in the drop. Brownie gonna get flashed by themselves. Galen not Shay securing out Brownie. Gonna give them their teammate a little bit more space to play in. Despite the higher weaponry, despite the site being taken, a 3-0 lead will emerge. But this time, St. Clair's are not the one doing it, and they are getting absolutely massacred.
I wish I could show everyone what, like the replay right there. Galen Notche did the craziest hide and seek. Just sneaking through the opponents, through tree, and getting the backstab on these players. And from that point in time, St. Clair was absolutely cornered in. They had nowhere to go. And masterclass from just the intuition point of view. Now the wall comes out once again. Fregoso just throwing money into the wind, to be honest. Definitely has to change up the tactics slightly, because that's a bit too readable, a bit too much conditioning now. Gonna figure out how to dance around Marcio. Oh, Fregoso not aware at all.
Spike down.
Marcio gonna be falling down. 4v4 situation here. It seems like St. Clair Saints might have some options, might have some potential to bring it back. Fight gets transferred over to Brownie here. The Rolling Thunder is still going to be available. You might just want to pop it right here and now if you want to be able to secure the round, have the Omen play off of it. But I don't know if Jello is going to be able to do that. We'll see whether or not they do end and try and tend to make this insane play. And there's going to be the fault line. Brownie falls to the ground. It still seems like there's much more that needs to be done, though. Still 3 players alive, and they want to reclaim the bomb. They're going to be able to do just that. Probably going to pop open the door and rotate to B. However, what they haven't realized, there's a Teo right and ready. And with Mika sitting right here, finding the first, finding the second. It's all up to this final Jello to do anything, but unfortunately Jello does not secure even a single kill, and there's 4 rounds already being taken.
No one else can judge you.
Executed, very well done, right? I honestly, right now, star of the show, Galen Notche. Yes, some insane plays a couple of rounds ago, but I just want to point out that Galen Notche positioned in very good locations to play off each other. Ben was actually first contact. Yes, Ben was stunned upon contact when Sushi, the Neon, came out from C, but Galen Notche just ready with the counter stun to hold back the aggression and forcing everyone back into B and the arms of Mika, where you saw it all just shake down towards the defender's way. So you cannot really, like, oh, sure, only 1 assist to the name, but absolutely just dominating the scene. And the information is flowing so well. I'm so sure that Dalhousie Tigers feel so good right now. The vibes must be just chilling in their Discord channel.
I mean, they gotta be happy. They gotta be excited. But after 2 maps have already went the distance to 24 rounds, they gotta be feeling the exhaustion after this, but clearly it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect them because they have been up 4-0 already here. Can they extend this lead? That's going to be the question. With a Rolling Thunder looking to be placed early, potentially, they might just be able to dominate early on. Fault line's going to be the first thing, along with more utility supporting the push. CSGOD going to be playing around Rubble. Omen is going to be the only player left onto the C site. How does that affect him? Ben finds the first, but right now Ben just backing up, diverging into CT. The rotation back towards C site. We'll see how well they're going to be able to affect it. Spike does not go down just yet. Paranoia to support it. Fregoso peeking out, going to need backup. Benson finds the first onto Mika. Stuns coming in. Brownie going to be in a bad spot to keep up with the rest of the team here. CSGOD putting up the fast lane. Benson finds a double. They want to secure their first round, and they want to do it now.
They want to do it now, indeed, but they're calm enough, they're collected enough to realize the rotates must have absolutely come in at the moment. You still see Vice's Banson, that wall being held up, so they know no one has pushed up to this very point. But now they're cautious, rightly so. No one's actually there
30
to
seconds
receive.
left.
A lot of cursory utility being thrown into this A, which is fine, right? 4v2, they want to be able to play together and not give Dalhousie Tigers any individual fights. Meanwhile, Ben and CSGOD on grouping up on the CT side, trying to figure out how they want to pierce their way into this. Banson already has Steel Garden online. Would be a waste to use it right now in a 4v2, but that option is online.
2v4. Ultimates in hand. Barcio peeking out, not going to be able to spot out anybody just yet.
One enemy
Smokes are coming in.
remaining.
Jello finds the first. All up to one more player, but Ben falls, and Jello collects the kill. Finally, we see both teams with at least a round on the board, but how long will St. Clair be able to keep this up for? Obviously, their economy is good. However, their opponents haven't fallen either. So realistically speaking, I don't think they can be safe for at least a couple more rounds.
No, you're right. You're right. St. Clair Academy, you know, putting their first on the board was a hard effort. They actually had to face against a rolling thunder, but I think their counter flashes were so good that they basically survived on that side, held back, especially with the neon stuns coming out as well. So that honestly worked spectacularly. Everyone worked on instinct, just protecting each other's teammates. So that's good. Now, things have shifted around a little bit. Deadlock, our in-house Fregoso, setting up that wall on B, hasn't been dealt with just far. This actually covers a lot because even if they rotate off C, they're gonna be met with a bit of a, I don't want to use the word showstopper, but show delayer, right? Having to contend with that Vice wall. Meanwhile, there's a lot of sites. Oh, but Galen will get shut down really quickly, and that's an important initiator out of the way, forcing a lot of utility out from the side of Dalhouse's Tigers, and they're using that to start their rotates over to A.
Ooh, how will this be played? A 4v5.
Face your fear!
Fregoso needs to go big here. Net's gonna come through, hit by the Prowler, gonna be connected on by so much utility. It's a bloodbath. CS Goaty gonna be the next to fall, but the trade is there. Sushi does not get out for free. Looks like Paranoia is gonna be in the works, going to be able to connect onto a couple, but not gonna be really able to capitalize upon that at all. Nobody's playing close. Nobody's giving him space to work with. Stun comes through. Jello finds one, and the next gets found out. Benson brings the second round.
Honestly, both creatures are operating at the highest levels of quality. Just being able to be the shot callers and the triggers for swings, for moves, for peaks. Brownie and Galen not Shay. I think this might be a map of who can be the better support for their team at the moment. And St. Clair looking to keep their necks in the game right now. Dalhouse Tigers still going to be able to buy Mika with that Armageddon online as well. A lot of space once again being given up by St. Clair Academy on A Rubble. It's free real estate. They haven't contended. They're opting actually to make a lot more space and pressure on that C side. Hit the door onto that B. A lot of red pings coming out as well. And with an aggressive smoke coming out from the side of Jello, we'll be able to mask a lot of their movements.
Ooh. CS Goaty.
Fregoso down, unfortunately, on the side of C. And so they lose their in-house Sentinel. This means that Dalhouse Tigers, they're going to be spread out a lot more. Armageddon, once again, online. You could use it proactively, but that'd be a bit of a waste. The retake would be the best option here. They're trying to contest A. Let's see who wins out this fight.
Ben's going to be breaking down the first eye, but it's going to be Ben and Galen to work together, hand in hand, secure the lead on the player deficit. Shut down any push onto A. However, A was not the target in this round. The target is going to be the C site. And Sushi going to be helping out Brownie. Secure CS Goaty. Securing a little bit of a lead here. A little bit of an overstep coming in from CS Goaty right there. Looking to try and stop the plant. However, 15 seconds remaining. A plant is all but guaranteed. Sushi is going right on into the fray. Walking into 3 players. An unfortunate turn of events. A little bit of a waste on the ultimate there. Brownie, will they use the Rolling Thunder? That could become massive, but Brownie figuring out what else is massive, winning without it. Now they do tend to use it, and they're gonna be good. They're gonna be strong. Brownie dancing all over the battlefield. How do they make this work.
One enemy
Mike's
remaining.
ticking, finds the first 3 bullets remaining. You need to be fast. But is there time? No.
There is
Maybe.
just enough time. Maybe about 2 seconds.
Oh, you were right on.
About 2 seconds there for Dalhousie Tigers to secure. They kind of whipped it a little bit. They should have realized that they should have realized that Brownie was 1 away from the ult. But Mika just gave them a free kill with knife out in hand, activating that Rolling Thunder, just getting absolutely ham on the retake. But it was a safe pair of hands. Ben coming up clutch to be able to bring it over the line. 5-2 right now. Mika and Fragoso with the ultimates. Online, Banson still holding on to that steel garden. Not just used yet. The default wall comes out, quickly dealt with. Once again, throwing money to the wind. The jump pick to suss out who is here. And look where Mika is to support their teammate as well. That's not where the team is moving towards. They want to take as much map control as possible. So that's them trying to contest CS Goldie off the rubble site. Flash comes out, wall to evade and move out of the way. Runs away with their life, thankfully.
CS Cody barely able to drop out. Mika finding the first. Joe taken off the board. Able to remove the smokes, but Mika jumping around gets instantly called out. Back to the A site they go, however. And I was going to come out, find a little bit of information. CS Cody barely messing away from the shots. In a 4v4 retake, we see some ultimates coming online here. Galen, not Shay, wanting to go aggressive, able to connect a stun, finds one, instantly traded out. We see the ult coming in from the deadlock here, and Ben as well. That's going to be there, but Fragoso not clearing their corners. Secures one, not going to be able to get the third, and unfortunately, there's still going to be some more that they have to do if they want to maintain this lead. If you are the Dalhousie, they're going to need a little bit more than what they're showing us.
Yeah, losing a little steam, but to be fair, St. Clair Academy, they burned 2 ultimates just to be able to mess around with Dalhousie Tigers. Fragoso threw out their annihilation as well, so that's out of the way. Bit of a good trade, to be honest, if you ask St. Clair Academy. Dallas Tigers gonna have to hard save now. Mika still desperately holding on to that. Trying to take space in mid. Banson is a safe pair of hands to try and get a trade, but the rest of the team now taps that door, coming to the rescue. A lot of chaos has been made, a lot of site control has been lost, so St. Clair set their eyes on C, try and make their work here.
Oh, Sushi barely going to be able to get away from the mollies coming into action. Sushi playing aggressive. Do they secure Mika? That's going to be the question. We see the door opening here. Flash comes through. Despite that, almost able to secure the kill. 6 HP is all Mika's going to be left with. Eventually, the kill is going to be found. C's barely going to be missing out onto Ben. Now they're just going to back off. Still 45 seconds, so Dalhousie Tigers, they have the time. They have the patience. They're just going to wait on the C site, while their opponents are just going to start diverging away, looking to potentially hit over towards the B site. Never mind.
30 seconds left.
Over towards A. Now, when you have a neon, that can get there pretty fast, but you got to be wary of all those. Oh, they're faking it. They make it look on the minimap like they're going over towards A. They're instantly calling back over towards the C site. We hear that noise coming in for Dalhousie, but it's not going to work. CS Cody's going to find one with the overdrive. Not going to matter. 4 seconds remaining. Just drop it and you win. Most likely, at least, right? No? Oh, well, they get the spike down, but in exchange, there's a kill. I think that needed to go down a little bit earlier. They could have maybe even secured the round with that. Anyway, do you drop the Rolling Thunder? Prediction? Yes. They know Benson is low. They know Benson does not have the HP for this. They don't know the location. What are you doing? Knife out is instantly called to the ground. getting caught behind the back, instantly destroyed. The 4th round gets converted.
But honestly, St. Clair can't be happy with that. Yes, point on the board, but just losing so much like space and getting played around with Dalhousie Tigers, they did that really well. In the sense that they basically grouped up, got themselves to a 3v3, re-cleared every position that was
Their
being
fears
prodded,
betrayed them.
right? And so gave St. Clair Academy a sure run for their money. And if Galen not Shia had their sheriff out, it could have gone honestly either freaking way against Banson. So now we're on bye rounds all across the board. If Dalhousie gets this, we break St. Clair Academy's economy, which is good. In fact, either or, right? This is the make and break moment where things may start snowballing
Bring them down.
for either team. They have to make it work or else they're forced on an economy. Ragoso, mesh in hand.
From the shadows gets used.
Not
Not going to be too impactful. Benson going to be able to dodge out on the stun here. Looking to just back up, potentially move over towards the C4P site. Brownie going to be the first one rotating in, but diverging away right as the bullets start spreading. Look over towards C. Instantly, fast lane coming through. Do we get some ults coming in to try and slow down the push? Seems like the answer to that's just going to be no. And in exchange, Sushi pushed up, shut down for Goso. Going to be the one to get the kill, and we do see Ben right on the other side of this box here, wanting to get a lot. How many do they find is still to be determined. One gets found. That's it. Sagosi gonna be able to secure a second. 13 seconds remaining here. Gonna be able to convert the point. Wait, no, they don't. They don't get the points off just yet. Both teams dropping in their rolling thunders. Spike's gonna come down, but Spike might not come down in time. Jello's gonna be shut down. Fregoso getting the next, and it's an absolute masterclass to secure 6 rounds. Dalhousie gets their 6th.
St. Clair Academy. Well, dude, you're playing with my heart now. You can't do these last-second plans every single time, especially because you haven't even gotten any sort of aim control space, right? Ben able to hear all the pitter-patter, calling for the rotate, supported by the team through B-links. It lined up for Ben as well. There was a world they just mowed down 3 players with like 2 bullets. It just didn't go their way, but the rest of the team was there to support, and Dalhousie Tigers are pulling themselves up right now. Whatever St. Clair did earlier, not quite working out just yet. Forced on a mixed buy. A lot of aggression once again. They're taking a space. And the C space then goes to Dalhousie Tigers. It is kind of like the standard tick for tack that we're seeing in this game of chess, but now we're starting off with the Nightfall, and the aggression comes onto the site.
Smokes come down. How do they approach this? That's going to be the question. On the defensive side, they're going to give a little bit of space away. Stuns come through. Sushi able to convert one, but Galen.J is going to be the one to transfer it over. Ben's going to want to convert more and going to do a great job while doing it. Site is starting to be flooded into Jello, trying to keep the defenders away and finding a second, being that Shine needed to get more. The classic is all that's in hand now due to the ultimates, but just because all they have is classic doesn't mean they can't make it work. Bike is down. Bike is ticking, needing to go big. Seems like this Fade is a little bit impatient here, continually moving around, but unfortunately for Ben, they can't secure anything. The Spike is ticking. You need to run. They get heard the jump, but the jump was faked, not going to the low ground, and Varsiel takes the round back. A phenomenal comeback from Varsiel.
In that 1v1, we had a collective health pool of like 9 or 7, like 14 or something ridiculously low between these 2 final players, and ultimately the pin fell towards Varsiel, just playing with time, playing the objective, being smart about it, not ego peaking. This is not about how many kills you can get anymore. It's about how many points you can put on the board. If we can get to a 6-6, this puts St. Clair Academy in a very, very good position even in a 7-5, honestly, it could still go either way. And this is actually St. Clair's Academy first foray into the A side. The flash comes out to secure some of the space. No one's there to receive, but Fergoso now on the flip side will have to do with everyone. A quick frag, but Varsio is there to trade. Okay, the rotates are coming in. The site's for the taken. Do we have Banton taking anyone else down? No. Ben regroups with the rest of his team, and the spike is being planted.
Oh, wow. It is really looking dire. An unfortunate situation. The stinger comes through, able to connect onto one. The run and gun is massive, securing a second. However, Varsio does not want it to keep on running away from them. However, despite their efforts, the Tigers keep on pushing. A 7th round convert. This is all 3 games. Starting half having a 7-5 scoreline.
Switching sides.
A huge shout out to Ben as well, just noting where these players are. The stealth drone spotted Brownie in the hell. Ben immediately whipped out that paranoia and blinded Brownie in hell to allow the rest of his team members to drop from heaven and just catch these players off guard. So 13 assists in the first half going to Ben. More than anyone else by a long shot. So absolutely just killing it from a support perspective. We're on the flip now. St. Clair Academy need to fire back, right? They had a little bit of steam. They didn't get a lot of rounds in the get-go, but if they lose the pistol, it could be 9-5, and then Dalhousie Tigers may look to just storm their way through. We'll see how they want to play this. A lot of sussing out they'll have to do, seeing how these players play around. Gonna have to figure out how this Vice plays as well, wall being placed on B. So that protects that mid round, especially when Jello jump peaks. That wall's not yet triggered, but I don't know if Fergoso will be caught off guard with a bit of a lurk here from St. Clair Academy taking all this B, C space. So this is Dalhousie Tigers taking that A.
I'm out of here.
Oh, what is happening right now? Dalhousie Tigers securing the site. They're attacking half.
Planted.
Looks good. Can they keep it up? They're in a 5v4. Sushi trying to get something, but slow down. Doesn't matter. Sushi continues to leap into action. Nico looking to get stunned up. Unfortunately, the Neon stopping them in their tracks from getting out of the way. Benson coming into play, wants to get a one. Brownie gonna be able to secure it. It's gonna be Versal to get the next, and despite that, it's a 1v2. The spike is ticking. Galen needs to go big. Finds the first. Gets off the spike. Not able to secure it. And it's going to be the pistol converted for St. Clair.
Just inching along, pulling the gap between them and their enemies ever so closer. Just a 1-point diff at the moment. Dallas Tigers, they really did their best from a holding perspective, right? A lot of counter stuns coming out from Galen, not Shea, but it was just a bit more team play coming out from the side of St. Clair Academy to be able to pinch on all corners. Choosing B on a pistol round is always a little dodgy. There's just so many angles, not enough utility to go around, and just obviously not enough firepower. 4 Guardians and a Bulldog to the defender's name. Gonna go against 3 Classics and 2 Sheriffs. No points for who should be winning, but Dalhousie Tigers has done crazier things. Jello smoke and just trying to mow people down.
Oh, Jello gonna be hit out by the paranoia, but Brownie is gonna be the one to recover it. Instead of allowing the site to go down, instantly shutting down Dalhousie Tigers. This point, 7-7, would not be bad for Goso, looking to potentially find a couple kills on this lurk with the Sheriff in hand. They definitely have the opportunity. However, it's going to be Brownie to be able to secure the kill, watching exactly where their movements will lead them.
Great kill, great orb point towards their Rolling Thunder as well. And, looks like, once again, it's all tied up, right? Honestly, since map 2, these teams have really fired up. They've basically done on-the-fly analysis of each other's strats and tried their best to adapt on and off each other. Now's the time to try and figure things out, right? We're setting a lot of Vice utility onto this A side. Banson
Where are you?
being the solo hold on to A. 5-person stack from the Tigers with an aggressive one-way smoke coming from Jello. So they're worried about that. They're gonna back off. But the calls being made by St. Clair maybe not the best right now. Especially with the stealth drone coming up, trying to ping Banson spotting a lot of players. The rotates are finally coming in. It's a timing thing right now for the side of Dalhousie. Really taking their time.
Wait, okay, so
I think so.
they just
I
walled
think
them.
so.
Alright, well, you know what? We'll count that as just a little bit of a mistake. Benson wanting to go big here, going to be dissolved into the ground here. Unfortunately, not able to connect the shots. We're going to be seeing Sushi hit out by the stun, barely able to dodge it. Great stuff from them. Instead, handing a stun of their own, but despite that, it's not going to matter. Staying calm, it's going to be Galen to keep calm and get the kill. Jello going trade back. Barcio going to be able to get another one. Jello's going to be able to get another one with the Guardian here, connecting a double kill. But on a triple kill, Galen's going to be really feeling themselves here. Barcio pushing forward and pushing to their deaths of 4K coming in to get the bonus round for Dalhousie Tigers.
Okay. Bit of a mess, not gonna lie. It was a lot of just chaotic, just trying to throw utility in every sort of manner. I like St. Clair's idea. They tried to come in a little faster than normal to be able to not wait for Dalhousie Tigers to settle into post-plant positions. Very fair, and got majority of the weapons out of the hands. Now, moving into the meat and potatoes of the Valorant match right now, you see Varcio actually with an Odin in hand. And CSGO is just gonna barrel down the C side.
Oh. Yeah, TP can go in, but Sushi collecting a double kill. Shutting down the push, forcing these attackers to really start thinking. How do they plan on coming back? That's going to be the question. I think right now it's looking really difficult, though. It's going to require a lot of team play to get themselves back into this match, especially if they do end up going for a different site. They have so many people from this St. Clair squad who are just so far up, so pushed into positions of power. Brownie's going to be lining up as fault line. Unfortunately, there's a high-low setup that they need to walk into. Fragoso is going to be able to catch it out. However, the damage is not coming out for anybody. Sushi finds the first, going on to a triple kill on track for an ace. 7 HP, Galen on Shea, barely going to make it out alive, but there's still only 2 versus 5. Nowhere to go. Pincered, pinched, completely suffocated into C main. How do you come out of this alive? That's going to be the question. Brownie looking to peek out, but 13 seconds. They don't need to peek out. All they need to do is
10
just
seconds
keep
left.
this round.
They're on the hunt though. Varcio, Odin in hand, gonna try and peek this Marcio. I don't know if they check these corners real quick. Corner was counter-checked. Trying to strip off as many weapons as possible, and stripping off indeed happens, right? We're tied up once again. I do not recall how many times I have said that sentence, but ultimately, I'm gonna pin, if I can point the finger a little bit, it's gonna be Mika who gets the finger of blame right now for, yes, sending out that stealth drone, but just not checking corners. You have a free drone with the craziest range. I honestly think it's like 60% increased range from, let's say, a Sova drone, right? And just not being able to check those corners and clear the site, very unfortunate, and just letting Sushi mow them down. So, great response. Dalhousie Tigers could not scramble to figure out a new plan after that. And unfortunately, we do have a bit of a tech pause so far, but you know, gonna wait for some of these players to reconnect and give both teams the best chance they can possibly do to showcase to the world what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult to bring this back. I mean, both teams at 8-8. See the economy looking like this Dalhousie squad. They don't have the money to be financially stable for a while. If they do try and force into this round, they're going to be doing with specters and judges, and that's not going to be looking good. You're going to want to save here. When you're saving, you're losing rounds, you're losing the momentum that you want to be carrying forward. We'll see if they can bring it forward, but yeah, the tech pause, it's unfortunate, but we'll see how the teams are going to be able to talk during this, figure out what they want, and it does seem like we're going straight on back with a ready notice from one of the teams. We definitely are going to be seeing what they got in store for us here.
Indeed. Looking at the ultimate economy so far, you see Brownie as well as Varcio on the defensive side with ultimates of their own, but Glenn Not Shea has a Rolling Thunder to counter that. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how they want to play around this, plus how they want to position the Odin that we haven't talked about yet. I don't think Dalhousie Tigers has heard the Odin whatsoever. Positioned on A. And if they want to walk into A, I know a lot of lineup Larrys who are happy to put those Odins to use right now. Starting off with the hunt to try and figure out where these players are. And they may be walking straight into a bit of a trap fairly quickly here.
Odin spraying through the door, but the Sheriff is dealing way too much damage. Barely unable to shut down Varcio just yet. The first player on this Dalhousie squad on their deathbed. It's going to be for Goso to fall next. Stun comes down onto 2. But that 2-player stun will not have anybody to be able to capitalize upon it. Look, and we see some prowlers hitting on the opponent. A crazy way of approaching the game here, dropping in a massive Rolling Thunder. Galen Not Shea gonna be able to find out Varsal. Now it's all up to Galen in a 1v3 situation. How much more can you try and get? It's gonna be a spike going down. 200 credits converting the rest of the team, and 3 players attempting a retake. Galen Not Shea, no rifle in hand, instead just the Sheriff connecting the first shot, unable to secure a second, and a 9th round is going to come out, giving this Dalhousie squad that lead that they had once gained at 4-0. Now we're going to be slipping away from them as this game starts to head towards a conclusion. It's going to be looking very disappointing.
Yeah, Galen did their best, honestly. Leading the scoreboard, 23 kills to their name, able to strip at least one more rifle off the hands of St. Clair Academy, moving 2 rifles over. The Odin was picked up. That's going to be, held on. Super annoying because there's actually a lot of paper-thin lineups here on the A side, especially when you're huddled up in tree. Looks like indeed that Varsal had all the lineups ready for that as well. This will allow, honestly, St. Clair Academy to spread themselves just a little bit more, put 2 players onto that C site, which is exactly what you do. Normally, you leave maybe but a singular player to the C site because you have multiple modes of entry. But from this particular case, they're going to stack it a little bit with the ever so sneaky Sushi, who has done crazier things. Now Overdrive online as well. So a bit of a dance of the Neons to bait out some utility, rightly so. Dalhousie Tigers looking to do a bit more default.
Can't use that.
Marcial,
Okay.
backing up, looking to play back onto the site here. Not going to be taking space higher up. We know Keho has such good power when it comes to being able to destroy that. Benson finds the first. We're seeing the ult coming through from Rolling Thunder to try and go for more. Sushi gonna be hit by it twice with the fault line, combining with it. Sushi going aggressive though. Flash by. It's Sushi securing a double and securing double digits for St. Clair Academy. With a Sushi dropping down into the fight. It's gonna be massive.
Starting to run away just a little bit. St. Clair picking up double digits right now. Dalhousie Tigers gonna have forced to save hard. And this is a bit heartbreaking because they've been fighting tooth and nail for every single point. And I get what they were trying to do in that previous round. They were trying to bait out both sides, and they almost got Benson as well, just peeking out from C Mound, but it wasn't meant to be. You know, Benson just tucked him straight back in, managed to get the first kill as well.
Gotta go.
Now Dalhousie Tigers playing around, 1 Spectre, 4 Sheriffs, trying to figure out where these players might be. They have to know that they're going to be faced up against an Odin here, so Varsio just waiting for that door tap as well. Meanwhile, they're really trying to play around with the map. That is fair. Stealth Drone comes out to try and isolate any players or understand where these players might be. They check the left corner. Important. Utility baited as well, right? But now reinforced by Sushi. That deadly duo. Ooh, Ben with the trade. Great shots to make it 4v4 as well. This even things out, and we're trying to save and make sure that, you know, these rifles don't go the wrong way.
4v4 situation, 4 ultimates for St. Clair Academy. Sushi is going to be able to take the lead on the player deficit here, shutting down the deadlock of the Tigers. Nightfall's going to come through, sprang through the wall, finds a first on the wall bang. Galen offline, you're missing your initiator, your flashes are no longer going to be there. Let's see if Jello, how much do you want to go for? How strong do you believe in yourself? Ben trying to make some shots, able to connect one to the body, not going to be able to get anything more than that just yet. Mika pushing forward, 13 seconds, 1 player. It's Sushi on the B site to secure nothing. Mika gets the shot off with the Sheriff. Spike goes down. Mika playing a little bit too calmly and gets shut down by Jello.
Let me think. Let me cook a little bit, Cherry. Dallas Tigers, what do you do now? You will have to buy. You should buy. The problem is if you don't buy, if you buy and lose, you'll walk into match point with, you know, not great utility, right? Not the best buy overall. You have a lot of ultimates on hand. Armageddon, plus the overdrive as well from the Neon. I haven't seen them do a rush on A yet, right? They've tried rushes on C once in a while, but the deadly combination of Benson and Sushi is just really annoying. They're not putting anyone in lurk as well, so a lot of eggs in one basket as they try to storm this C site.
Sushi going to be peeking out off of the net. It's going to be Sushi finding a first, finding a second, backing off a little bit, reloading on 9 bullets. Fergoso playing a little bit too aggressive here with the Sushi. The smoke falls to the ground. Going to be able to see the Omen peeking out, but not able to connect onto them. It's all the timing, but the timing doesn't matter when you're just the stronger player. Sushi finds a triple kill, looking to put them on match point. St. Clair Academy wanting to convert this with everything they got. They're playing calm, they're playing safe. 2 on A, 1 on B, 2 on C.
There.
How does this go?
Put too many eggs into a singular basket right now. And Dalhousie, they're locked out from every single side. They don't know how much map space has been taken by the Academy. And Sushi just absolutely killing it.
Sushi finds a 4th, and we said earlier in the chat that an ace wasn't coming today, but the ace is here. It's Sushi to convert it for the St. Clair Academy. How on earth are they doing this?
Just raw brute power and just understanding, I think, just the plays that Dalhousie Tigers are working. A lot of attention has been put on C, and just the play between Benson and Sushi, it's just phenomenal to watch. It's so beautiful, actually, to see them dance around each other's utility. And once again, Dalhousie Tigers wanting to do the same thing. I don't know if anything's going to be different. The Salvos come out super early. Let's see if Sushi can do the same thing.
Oh, Sushi gonna find one. But with the classics in hand, they find everything. A triple kill with classics alone. It's a 2v3 situation. ults available for the Teo. How do they come back? That's going to be the question. Brownie looking to play from mid. One more playing from the Prowler here. Going to be able to get some information. Not going to be able to connect. It's going to give them that allowance to know that this is cleared. However, it was a fake out. Still got some more in play. Finding one, but not going to be able to convert it despite the stun. Brownie is all that's remaining for this round, and it's going to go 9-12. There's still chances, but it's going to be difficult to bring this to overtime.
Very much so. They have to basically hit every round to perfection. Like, you know, no big deal. Just have to do everything exactly how you want it to go. We've seen it done in the past. It's going to be a tall mountain to climb. Armageddon once again online, overdrive as well. They haven't overspent any of their ultimates, and I hope they don't regret not using it because they have to. Every round counts from here on out. Now they're looking for an aggressive aim. We haven't seen that just yet, but St. Clair Academy looking to bring the fight over as well.
Oh, Jello's gonna find one, but it's not gonna be enough to compare to Goatsy and the rest of them. They're going in aggressive here, but they're not gonna be able to find anything. We do see this, the Vice potentially going for a flank here. Benson looking to do something, but no, they're gonna opt out of it and instead just look to go through Cubby. Fight goes down. Varsil. In a 3v4 situation. It's very winnable, but it's going to be difficult. You got a mountain to climb. Can you climb it? That's going to be the question. We got two players playing in tree. We got two players playing on site. Now, there is still going to be this ult from the Tejo that can come in, but it's not going to be the ult. It's going to be the signature ability, taking down Varsil. It's looking bad. Jello pushing in aggressive like a madman, finding a kill with Benson finding another. Net comes down onto Benson, going to be able to get it off, but there's no time. You need to start playing aggressive. You need to start playing fast. Frogoso finds the first, and despite Benson finding Frogoso for the trade, Gallon is in the smoke, and Gallon collects the win.
Absolutely popping off our in-house breach. Gallon, not Shia. 26 kills to their name. It got closer than it should have been in that 2v4 scenario. A lot of 1v1 trades right there. No utilities being used again. Sorry, no ultimates being used again either. And so this is this the comeback that the Tigers are wanting to see? St. Clair says no. Timeout has been activated. Artemis breathing deep, digging deep. It is an absolute marathon. We're running the distance here. And no points if we end up in an 11-3 once again. How crazy would that scoreline be if we ended up on that side? It could be either teams to take, but it still could be overtime as well.
That would be insane. Every game goes 5-7 on the half. Every game goes 11-13 on the finisher. That is perfection.
It could not be scripted better, to be honest. No one here is writing scripts, I swear. But here we have both teams digging deep, trying to figure out, okay, how can they outsmart each other? What is the other team saying right now in the timeout? And how can we outsmart them back? It's anti-strats and anti-strats. And once again, we've seen both these teams adapt on the fly. The new adaptation has come out. St. Clair Academy opting for a 4-stack on A. Tigers default. Okay. Now, Banson's late to the game, so we'll have 0 utilities set up on C. Not the first best start from the side of St. Clair. Right? So we'll see if they want to pursue that. They aren't. They're going to be walking into a very deep aggressive smoke here. The stealth zone comes out early, traded utility. Varsil wants to come out early.
Varsil getting sprayed down by the overdrive. Zagosi goes in aggressive once more here. Looking to get something, but the fast lane's going to be able to block it out for at least a little bit. Wanting to get more Brownie shut down. It's not looking good. It's not looking strong. A 3v5. We might be seeing overtime. Folks, Sushi barely dodging out on the fault line. Plant comes
Spike
through.
planted.
2 ultimates on either side. However, those ultimates for the attackers were way more impactful, especially in post-plant position. One's being taken offline already with the Rolling Thunder no longer available. Benson finds the next with a headshot. It wasn't needed to be a headshot, but that doesn't matter. Here's going to be the ult. Here's going to be where it needs to come through. With a bit too aggressive. The Sushi falls to the ground. A 3v2 position. Spike gets tapped. Abilities are already coming in clutch here. Jello.
Last player standing.
Benson unable to find the first. Looking to find the ace. It's not going to be an ace. It's Jello securing the clutch. We did it once before on Haven, and they're bringing it back to secure map number 3 in the St. Clair Saints. Take the win.
I cannot. I literally cannot. I was preparing my commentary to talk about how that retake did failed, but out of the absolute left field, Jello comes out completely clutch and nails down a beautiful collat, taps the spike, drawing out the final player for a beautiful headshot in tree, securing themselves the win in the first game here for the CCL Valve Winter Series, 13-10, going all the way to the distance. Cherry, I am stunned for words. I've been stunned multiple times over these 3 maps. The teams have played spectacularly well. And yes, I was kind of dissing on Dalhousie Tigers. Very, very early on, they did lose 7 rounds in the very first map on Haven, but they came back with a vengeance, sweeping back St. Clair Academy on their map pick. And it wasn't meant to be. The fairy tale ending isn't for everyone, unfortunately. And Dalhousie Tigers walks away with an L here. You gotta hold your head up high, though. Looking at the scoreboard, Galen not Shea on this final map, 26 kills to 15 deaths, ACS of 283. Absolutely disgusting with it. And so, but ultimately it is a team game, and St. Clair Academy just read the books just a little bit better and clicked heads just a little faster and absolutely deserved this win for today's matches.
Absolutely. Both teams played phenomenally. I'm so excited to see what they're going to be bringing in store for us for future weeks. Make sure to stay tuned for next Sunday's Valorant matches. And I believe we have R6 on Monday. But, we're going to be seeing what happens for future games on next Sunday. Make sure to stay tuned for that. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking around for us. My name has been Cherry J, joined by Multitudes. And that's going to be it from us tonight. Thank you so much.